Hello, my lovelies. It is Tuesday. I'm here once again live for you. Good evening to you all. A few of you watching live already in the comments. Belinda, good evening to you. Kelly, hello and good evening. Gracie, hello to you. Hello, Sonia. Hello again, Pat. So lovely to see you on here. If you are watching, do not be shy. Give us a hello and let me know that you're there. If you're watching back on replay, then just give me a hashtag replay. That's absolutely fine. And yeah, welcome to Tuesday Night Live. So I'm really excited about this evening. I've got a few readings to do for you. I've got some special exciting news to share later on this evening. And I've also got a very special guest joining me. So we'll have the lovely Louise Ward joining. You may have seen her in the comments. She is a weekly viewer. She joins us and chats amongst you. So you'll probably had a good old chit chat with her. So I'm really looking forward to bringing her on very shortly. She is waiting backstage. So if you're there, I have got the cards. If you want a card reading, I'm not going to do many tonight. So if you want one, ask quickly because I won't be doing them for long. Hi, Sam. Sammy, hello to you as well, my lovely. So the ticker is up. The ticker is up. So if you fancy a reading, then ask away. So Belinda, yes, you were first. So let's pull for you, my lovely, see what they have got. So as I mentioned, I won't do many tonight. Well, not yet, because I do want to bring Louise on. We have got a lot to chat about. And then I might do some later on this evening. Okay, a few of you on already. Lauren, hello. Right, Belinda, let's pull for you. If I don't get to you this evening or this time, then do hang fire and I maybe get to you later on or maybe next week. But Belinda, for you, you've got the King of Cups there and you have got the Queen of Pentacles. So here for you, what I'm seeing is with the King of Cups, what I'm seeing there is that there's a male energy around you, a bit of a spiky character. And I feel like there needs to be some distance there, whether you've already created that distance or not. But that does need to come in. I feel like they're quite negative towards you in what you're trying to achieve for yourself and also just you in general. I feel like as well, it's either I'm getting something in the throat chakra, either there needs to be confidence in what you say to him, or also I'm really feeling your throat chakra. I'm feeling a block. So I would recommend doing something to really release and open up that throat chakra. But for you, Belinda, I feel like this man is really almost, his energy is hanging over you. But looking at this one, I feel like there is a financial element to it. But with this one, I want to say that even though there's maybe deeply rooted connections here, you need to cut away that dead wood and just release from whatever this connection is and get gone. I feel like whether it's a family member, a friend, maybe someone at work, but there does need to be some distance created here for you with you and this guy, whoever that man is. So that is for you, my lovely. Lots of you on commenting already. So I will only be doing a few to begin with, and then I will be bringing on the lovely Louise. So lots of you on watching. So if you are here, give me a hello. And if you don't get a reading to begin with, do stick around because I will be doing some afterwards. Okay, let's have a look and see. Right, Gracie, I'm quite drawn to you. So let's have a look what we've got for you, my lovely. Okie dokie. Right, Gracie, you have got Temperance and you've also got the 10 of Wands there. So looking at this for you, what I'm feeling is your confidence is shifting, and in a good way. I feel like it's a case of you letting go of what doesn't serve you and moving into a space where you're happy to vocalize, you're happy to make the choices of getting rid of things that are no longer serving you, no longer doing you any good. And what I'm seeing here as well, it's almost like a journey at the minute between now and October for you. Just letting go bit by bit. It doesn't need to be a big like crash bang wallop and get rid of everything that's not doing you any good. It's a process and it does take time. But what I'm seeing here for you is you having the confidence to openly be you, to vocalize what you do and don't want to do, and just move into that, because there with the temperance, that is showing that you have made choices and made decisions and you need to stick by them for the good. And also to say that anything that you have cut out of your life recently or in the past sort of 12 months really has been a good move for you. So between now and October, just hang on in there, cut bits away slowly and slowly, and then from October onwards you will feel even more sense of relief there for you. So that is for you, lovely. Okay, lots of you there as well. Belinda says, that's what I was getting in the cards. There you go. I'm getting like smoked out with incense here. Might have to stub it out in a minute. It's a bit strong. Let's have a look. Okay, Magdalena, yes, I'm quite drawn to you. So if I don't get to you to begin with, as I mentioned, do pop on, well, do stay on, and I'll be doing readings later on. So let's have a look and see. Okie doke. Magdalena, for you, my lovely, you've got both of them in reverse. You've got the Two of Swords and you've also got the Four of Wands. So to look at these, I'm feeling like for you, rather than having a choice, I feel like you're being given, I don't want to go as serious and say an ultimatum, but I feel like your time is of the essence. You either need to choose something or it's going to be chosen for you. So what I'm seeing here is over the next 2 months, I want you to think back. So this sounds strange, but over the next 2 months moving forward, I want you to think back to last month, to April, and anything that's happened there, I want you to remember that when you're making your choices, because what I'm seeing here is that almost like there's rose tinted glasses on at the minute and things seem a bit lovely and you're going to make your choice there. But I feel like you just need to remember, perhaps if someone's treated you a specific way or if something's happened that you've maybe overlooked, I want you to think back and just consider, do I want that to continue? Do I want to be in that situation? Do I want to be around that kind of people? And that will help you to make decisions over the next 2 months. Because I'm feeling here for you, it's like you've been pushed into a corner to make a choice. But actually, you need to make that choice for you because you want to. So don't leave it too late before deciding, because otherwise you're not going to have much of a decision there to make. So hopefully that gives you a bit of insight and makes a bit of sense there. If it doesn't make much sense, it should do over the coming weeks. A few of you on. Annie Easton, hello to you, lovely. Biddy, good evening. It has been a while. So I'm going to pull one more card and then please do stick around because I've got a lovely special guest to bring on and then I will be doing some readings afterwards. Right, Shazia, I hope I'm saying your name right. So I'm just going to pop that up there. These cards are for you, my lovely. Let's have a look. Okay. Kirsten, good evening to you. Oh, hello, everyone. Some new names tonight as well, ones that I've not seen before. So it's lovely, lovely, lovely to have you. Okay, so Shazia, let's have a look. Do let me know if I've said your name correct. Okay, so for you, you've got the Empress, really, really lovely card there. And you have got the 10 of Cups in reverse. So what I'm seeing here for you is, I feel like perhaps a bit of a rock the boat in the family dynamic, or I'm not sure if you've got children or what the kind of mother-child dynamic is around you. But what I'm seeing here is there's maybe a disconnect with communication, or perhaps that kind of that parent-child bond isn't, don't want to say isn't quite right. There's something that needs to be fused back together. So what I'm seeing here for you is, I'm going to pull another card for you. There we go. We've got the Wheel in reverse. So that again is saying to me something to do within family is maybe not quite as it usually would be, or it's not as positively as you would like it. That didn't make sense. Not as positive as you would like it to be. But what I'm seeing here, similar again, the throat chakra is coming up a lot tonight, is clearing that throat chakra and giving yourself permission to say what needs to be said without feeling guilty, without feeling judged, and without doubting yourself. Just say what needs to be said, because just get it out in the open, clear the air, and see where things move from there. I do feel like it's based around you and other females around you in the family. And there needs to be a bit of air clearing there. Maybe boundaries need to be set in place, and just go from there and see how you get on. Okie dokie. So hopefully that makes sense to you. It seems a little bit cryptic, but I feel like you should know what that means. But just being very aware of your connections with the females around you in your family and those closest to you, to make sure that you are patching up any connections that have been lost or detached. So there we go for you. Lots of you commenting. Oh, a few of you have come over from Claire's page this evening. Hello to you, Shazia. Oh, Z, hello. Shazia, spot on. Thank you. You are very, very welcome. Frankie's new from Claire's page as well. Oh, Dawn, thank you. And Shazia says makes sense. Amazing. So I will be doing more readings very shortly. I have got an absolutely packed live for you this evening, but let me tell you, without further ado, I'm going to bring on my very, very special guest. So please do give a warm welcome. We're going to welcome in the very, very lovely Louise Ward. Hello, how are you doing? Oh, are you a bit quiet? Right, can I hear you? Oh no, we've got no sound. Hang on, let's fix it. Can't hear you. Oh no, it was working when we tried it before. Let me mute you, and then we'll try again. Oh goodness me. No, it's the tech. It worked before, and then that's all right. So I'm going to check out the comments while you're plugging them in. Pat says, oh, thank you so much. Kirsten's come over from Claire's group as well. Oh, lots of you on. Amazing. Lovely to see you all. So Louise, can we hear you? Not yet. Right, I'm going to take you off and then I'll bring you back in and see if that works. Right, let's give it a go. Right, technology, you know, we were backstage and it worked absolutely perfect. We had a good old conversation backstage and then it didn't want to work. So let's see what's happening now. Let's bring Louise back in. Okay, let's have a look. See, is it working? Do we have sound? Or is it my? No, I can hear. No. Oh, can you hear me? Oh no. Right, what I'm going to do, Louise, is I'm going to take you off. If you click leave the studio and come back in, and then we'll see if that works. Okie dokie. Right. Hang on then. I can see you on your foot. We'll get there. It's the moon. Sam, you're right. It's the moon. Right, Louise, let's try this way.
Hello.
Yay! That's all right. It's typical, isn't it? Oh. I'm gonna take you out of that one. I'm gonna just turn that off. There we go. That one's off now. Yay! So, Louise, welcome.
Thank you. It was working perfectly before, wasn't it?
It was, but technology is always a pain. It's always a pain. So give a warm welcome to tonight's special guest, lovely Louise. So as I mentioned, you may have seen her in the comments chatting before. She's often here live with us. So Louise, tell us a bit about you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for having me. Hopefully I won't talk too long and get back to the card reading. So that's what we're here for. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Laura's, but I'm also a parent carer. I have 2 children, and Luca is 9 and Sabrina is 6, and she's the one with the disabilities. I'm a wife. In my previous life, I was a holistic therapist, and at the peak of my career, let's say, in my previous life, I ran 3 hair and beauty salons in London. So yeah, that's me really, apart from I'm writing a memoir as well, so I should mention that.
We'll get into that. We'll give a good chat about that. And we've got so much to talk about tonight as well, because obviously we were chatting earlier and we had a little bit of a call. It was about an hour long, wasn't it? And we did have a good old chit chat, and just some of the topics we're going to chat about tonight, ladies. You are in for a treat. There we go. Kirsten says, fantastic. I work with autistic and disabled young people in Brighton. Amazing. Wow, it's such a special thing to do, isn't it, to work with children with disabilities and like neurodiverse children. So a few people are new tonight watching. So if you don't know me, I do have a son with autism, ADHD and other learning difficulties. But Louise, tell us about Sabrina.
Yeah, she's pretty unique, Sabrina. I mean, all children with disabilities are unique, even if, like you say, with autism, they're all very individual. But
Yeah.
Sabrina has a very rare metabolic disease. And you think metabolic, you think diabetes. It's nothing to do with that. It's at cellular level. It's genetically inherited, and she has something called ALG1 CDG, and it's extremely rare. She's one of 19 in the world.
Wow.
So there are really not many people around. But CDG itself has more than 161 types, and she just has to have one of the rare subgroups. But she's such a special little girl. She's full of joy. She's very funny, and she's a blessing.
Oh, bless. She is indeed. And then that obviously stemmed on. So you've created, or you brought about Sabrina's World. So that's obviously I've seen on Facebook all the work that you do with that. But do you want to tell the viewers about Sabrina's World?
Yeah, well, I guess it was my lockdown project. With a bit more time on my hands, I decided to set up Sabrina's World on Facebook. My son actually came up with a name, and it's a bit of a family affair. Everything gets passed through the family before we do stuff.
Oh,
And my son's at the age now where I have to ask permission. He's 9, if I may use his photograph
yeah.
on the page. Bless him.
Oh,
So,
love
yeah,
it's
so
funny that you're a bit involved. So you've got,
yeah,
well, obviously you sent through some pictures. So this is your lovely family here. So that's you, hubby, Sabrina, and Luca there, isn't it? And
yeah,
look at your,
there we are. When it was sunny.
yeah, when it was sunny. And then we've got that one. There you go. That's gorgeous, that picture.
That's nice. That's at Lydiard Park in Swindon. That's our pre-wedding shoot.
Oh wow, I love that. And then there she is. That is lovely, Sabrina. So, such a lovely, sweet face, bless her. So with Sabrina's World, so what kind of goes on the Facebook page? What kind of stuff are you putting on there?
It's a bit of everything. It really, I set it up really for awareness, because this disease is so rare. Getting awareness and actually trying to find other people with it is really important. But it's also to celebrate Sabrina because she's so unique and funny.
Yeah,
And she just attracts people. She actually, I think, has some healing in her, because I do Reiki, and when I Reiki her, she Reikis me. So it's yeah, she's such a cutie. She reaches up and puts her hand here, and she's just like, you can feel the heat coming through. And I think a lot of children actually that are deaf or have some sort of disability, they're intuitive. They have to. They can't even sometimes communicate as we communicate. So they feel a lot, and they're very emotionally mature. They can pick up on your body language and how you feel before you walk in the room, almost.
absolutely. It's like with Levi as well. He was non-verbal till about 4, nearly 5, and kind of between the 4 or 5 stage, we just had not really, like, I could understand him, but nobody else can. And then now he's like 9, it's quite difficult. But then I don't know if it's mother's instinct or just that intuitive instinct, but you can just, it's almost like you can feel what they mean, what they're trying to tell you. And they are very special. It's that special connection that obviously we love all children. But when you've got a child with a disability, there is such an unspoken bond and connection there, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And that you learn from them. I've learned so much from her, from both my children, but even more from Sabrina. And of course, they choose you for a reason. And it's been quite a learning curve. And I'm quite honoured that she's my daughter, and of course I want to take the pain away from her and her not to be poorly, but actually who she is just perfect in my eyes.
Oh, bless her. So with her mobility, is she mobile now? Is she still working towards, how's she getting on?
She's doing really well. So with Sabrina, she has a mental disability and also a physical disability. In fact, CDG affects every single cell in the body. It affects the way the cells are, the building blocks of the cells are made. So it really is quite an extensive disease. It can affect the stomach, the eyes, the organs, muscles, everything. And it mainly affects her brain. So with the sort of mobility issues, she also has balance issues. And strength issues, but and the doctors couldn't tell us if she was going to walk, and she is now running. So we're just really shocked. But she didn't stand up. She didn't stand up until she was 3. She couldn't sit up at 18 months. She was about 19 months. You know, and a typical child would perhaps sit up at 6 months, 5, 6 months. Some are walking at 9 months, aren't they? So yeah, she is delayed. She has a global development delay, which doesn't mean she'll catch up. That is just who she is. And of course, she can run, but it's very unsafe running because she doesn't mind if she runs into a road or wherever, really. So it's a case of being hyper vigilant around her the whole time.
Definitely. Yeah, there's no danger awareness, is it? They just go. But you sent in a lovely video of Sabrina, and it's kind of like a walking journey, really, isn't it? And so shall we play that one? Let's
do it.
Oh wow, what a gorgeous video. Oh, that brought a tear to my eye watching that.
It's really special, isn't it? Oh, thanks for your lovely comments, everyone. She is so determined.
So many lovely comments coming in. Oh, bless her. That dress was gorgeous as well.
I know. It's still hung up. That was her little flower girl dress. In fact, she started walking 1 week before our wedding. And she walked down the aisle. Yeah, she walked down the aisle. Yeah. So
that's amazing. Oh, that's like giving me tears now. Oh, bless her. She is absolutely incredible. And also for you, so as a carer, it's also there's the lovely side of seeing them hit milestones and really coming into their own. But because obviously myself, I know as a carer, it's not all the lovely moments, is it? It's bloody hard. It really is hard. And take my hat off to anyone who's a parent carer out there, because there's the physical load to deal with, and also the mental load and all the appointments, and like we were saying, I've got tears still. What we were saying earlier about all the things that you've got to remember, like all the terminology, all the shortened, I can't remember what they're called now, but all the letters and numbers, and There's
yeah.
a whole other side.
It's a whole new world, isn't it?
It is. It absolutely is. And it's just like you say, we've been chosen for a reason, and absolutely blessed to have them in our lives through the good and the difficult time. But also, so with Sabrina's World, so you have got some lovely merch that people can buy to raise funds to go towards Sabrina's World. So what would that funds go towards helping with?
So for her, the main thing at the moment is therapy, because we have obviously had COVID, obviously had COVID again. Yeah, and you know, school wasn't open, so she didn't get her speech and language therapy, her physiotherapy, her occupational therapy, her hydrotherapy. She goes to a special school and she receives all of that in there. So we could see that she was demotivated, which was heartbreaking, bored, fed up, frustrated. And, you know, we needed to get her working again, working towards goals. We had no idea what to do for her. I mean, there's only so many shape sorters you can do and colouring. So we actually, alongside Sabrina's World, set up Just for Children charity for Sabrina, called Sabrina's World again. And we're raising funds for therapy, and we go to Brainwave in Somerset, which is an amazing place. And we go all day, and she has a whole day of therapy. It costs £350. And excuse me, and then we get a program to work on at home. So that might be an assault course, going up and down the stairs, posting, doing little fine motor things. So yeah, that's one of the things. And the other things are home adaptations. We're looking at a wet room. Although you can get a disability grant for some of the wet room, they won't pay for things like the bath, or they'll pay for the shower and not the bath. So things like that, and all of the other sort of equipment we need, really.
Yeah. So, and with that as well, so you've got I did put the link in the comments, but it sent it through in so many different ones, so I'll put it in again. But you've also got here, so they can give direct on Just Giving, and also you've got your lovely merch there, so you can buy. Let me take that banner off. So you've got the mug, the bookmark, and the keyring there as well. So there's those bits that obviously help towards it. So let me just do that link again in a bite-sized part. There we go, because it didn't like it when I posted it in like that. It was a bit too big apparently. So here's the one for the Just Giving.
Just for
children, sorry.
Just for children, yeah. And by no means is this a pitch. This is just what we're doing. It's yeah, and we've had so many wonderful fundraisers. I mean, Annie was our first fundraiser, and she was 8, and she cycled 20 miles on her little bike around Swindon, because we live in Swindon, and she raised over £1,000. And we're just blown away by people's generosity. It's so humbling. It's something I find a little bit difficult to accept sometimes, because you just want to make the best for your daughter. But when you realise that actually you financially can't support her as you would like, then this is why we've decided to do it.
Yeah, well, every little helps as well. So you've got the mugs and whatnot, but anyone that can help if they want to do any fundraising, because there's also a link there. Like if you follow the link, they can actually do their own events to help towards it. So like, was there someone that cut their hair? Did someone cut their hair?
Yes. Yeah, Lauren. Yeah, a lady with cerebral palsy. She's a real advocate for disability, not vulnerability, and she's amazing. And she shaved her head. She braved her head shave in the middle of winter.
Oh, that was cold.
Yeah. And she raised a lot, £500, I think. So yeah, it all helps. And the proceeds from these little things. Again, my son was very involved in the design of the little key rings and things, and the mugs. All the proceeds go towards Sabrina's charity. So yeah, that's us.
Amazing. Oh, wow. So if anyone does want to check out Sabrina's World, you can follow on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and then there's the Just for Children page there as well. So amazing. And we've got as well, just to add on, there's the little video that you sent me about, should we play her coming down the stairs?
Yeah, do it.
That was amazing to watch that one as well. So here she is. So there's no music on this one, but we can still hear us, because she gets confident, doesn't she? She goes a bit
yeah, we've got very steep Victorian stairs, and actually coming down the stairs is a very different skill to going up the stairs. It's much harder because you've got the forward momentum. So doing it safely as possible. And you can see we've had these little rails put in either side, and they've been a game changer. You know, that's really helped her. And I should say, I think you were talking about, you know, the difficulty with having a disabled child. She wasn't actually diagnosed until she was 4.5. It took 4.5 years to get a diagnosis, and that for us was a real roller coaster of a journey, because you just don't know what she had. And Google couldn't tell me anything. My doctors couldn't tell me anything. And it was really worrying, because we were being tested for all sorts of scary diseases. I mean, CDG is bad enough, but there are even worse ones. But so that was the difficulty. That was a struggle for me.
Yeah, I think the kind of not knowing what it is then means you don't know how to support them then as well. And it's almost like, even when you get the diagnosis, it's grief and relief at the same time, because it's like, now you know, and it kind of hits you like a train, but then you think, right, now we can put this in place, and it begins to almost slot together, and you can begin to get the support. And obviously, I know it's very different, but with autism, when we had that diagnosis, that opened up a whole new like support thing for us, of things we could access, things he could do and whatnot. And it does make a big difference, because I know some people say, oh, diagnosis is just slapping a label on it, but it's not. It's so much more. It's like I say, it opens up all this opportunity that wasn't there before.
Absolutely. The support from the Global Alliance of CDG, it's so supportive. We've just had our 5th World Annual Conference, which I was honoured to speak at, and that was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the support is amazing. And there's some very poorly babies. You know, they're born with organ failure. They need organ transplants, and I find that really hard, because actually Sabrina's quite well at the moment. She has epilepsy, she has chronic diarrhea, she has mobility issues, she has a learning delay, she has a global delay. But you know, you can medicate epilepsy, which we do. And Sophie's on. Hi, Soph. So yeah, she's actually very well at the moment, and she doesn't suffer as such. But some babies, they're born so poorly, it's heartbreaking. And these new first-time parents don't know what's going on. You know, it's awful. So these Facebook groups and the Global Alliance and CDG UK have been an absolute godsend to all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And you obviously saying you were a speaker at the conference, and you are got like a big advocate, but then also you are I don't know what word would you use, advocate or member for Mums on a Mission, which is something else that we're going to chat about tonight as well. There's lots on tonight, so tell us more about Mums on a Mission.
So Mums on a Mission, I joined in December. It's Mums on a Mission Swindon, and we're a group of 6 ordinary mums that just so happen to have beautiful children which have disabilities, all different disabilities. And they all go to the same school, actually. All our children go to a special school. And we came together really because some of our children still need changing, and Sabrina's 6. A 6-year-old on a baby change is absolutely impossible for everyone involved, and it's not fair, and there aren't enough changing places, and a changing place actually has an adult changing table, a ceiling hoist for wheelchair users, adjustable sink, enough room for a wheelchair and 2 to 3 carers, sometimes a shower. And these places just aren't available for us. And we end up having to change our children on toilet floors. And that happens all over the country, and it's happening in Swindon at the Great Western Hospital. They haven't got a changing place. They haven't got a facility for children that are at a hospital, children that are bigger than babies. And a disabled toilet is great if you can maneuver yourself from your wheelchair onto the loo. But if you can't, it's just impossible. So yeah, we're just campaigning for changing places mainly. And alongside that, inclusive play as well. So you go to a play park and there's those lovely metal climbing frames. Well, Sabrina hasn't got a hope in hell of getting up those, you know. Some kids in wheelchairs, there's roundabouts, but they're not flush to the floor, so you can't actually wheel on to the roundabout. Just simple little things. And we're working with local councils, borough councils. We've made a pack with inclusive play equipment and our kind of advice and our tweaks that we can help. So we've been really busy with that sort of thing.
Yeah, it does make a big difference, because I've seen like the roundabouts and also the swings that you can go on, and because obviously whether you're a disabled child or you're a neurotypical child or a child with no disability, like each child has the right to play, and they should be able to. And some of the parks, like you say, you look at it and there's no thought has gone into including all children, and then you kind of look and you think, well, what are they meant to do? They're meant to just sit and watch all the other children go by, and it's not fair. So I do think that there needs to be more of it. And I think when people are designing parks, there does need to be more equipment and more apparatus for children to use. It's important. With the changing places as well, it's a wonder that more places don't have that. And Levi was in, well, I say nappies, he was in pull-ups till he was about 5, and it got to the point where, because he was mobile, I would have to try and stand him up and do it stood up, because he was just too big for the baby ones. And or you try and put him on the baby one and he wouldn't want to be there, and it's just kind of like,
no, exactly that. You know, you've experienced it firsthand. It's really difficult to change a nappy when the child stood up, especially Sabrina's nappies. Oh dear. So yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a no-brainer really. So we're just really campaigning for awareness, and we're in talks. I've had a meeting with the MacArthur Glen Outlets Village in Swindon. Again, they've got lots of disabled facilities, but no change in place. We're at talks with the hospital, but obviously the pandemic's been taking over. And we're also very involved in designing a new play park at Coatwater, Swindon, which is exciting. And that's going to be amazing, because also it's the sensory aspect, you know, it is that sort of the sound and the musical instruments you can get at a play park. It's having a slide, maybe with a ramp, or it's set into a bank and you can get a wheelchair up there, you know, or Sabrina could walk up there quite easily. So it's these little tweaks. And I should say we're changing places. If there's a new build, a public new build, by law they have to provide a changing place, and that's a recent law, so that's good.
That's if that's a public shop or centre or any public access.
Yeah, absolutely. So a new build has to arrest a big sort of public building, but it's the old existing ones that are the problems, you know.
Yeah, that's it. And a lot of these old buildings are just stairs, aren't they?
Yeah, you think of like the Wyvern Theatre. I mean, Sabrina would love to go and see Mr. Tumble or someone, you know. It puts an added layer of stress with an already stressed adult. Because you think, if she needs a nappy change, what am I going to do? Shall I lie her down on the aisle? You know, we've changed her in the back of the car. We've changed her under a tree. You know, but it's not nice. People stare. You know, it's just inhumane.
That's it. And there's a level of kind of dignity comes into it as well. You don't want to be changing it. Like a lot of these disabled toilets are filthy on the floor. You don't want to be changing anyone on the floor. It's unhygienic, and that's like kind of, they lose that sense of dignity there as well, which is not fair on them.
Absolutely.
Really.
Yeah, and it makes me cry. I just, yeah, it's not an ideal
Yeah,
situation.
it's not. So I'm going to pop the links in. So there's the Mums on a Mission Swindon, and also the Changing Places website. But
Yeah.
so Mums on a Mission, is that just Swindon, or is there different ones around? Is it a national thing?
No, it's not a national thing. It's just our little pop-up group. There are other mums on a mission. You see, there is mum power out there, you know. We all know about that. We're very powerful people. So yeah, there are other groups doing other things. But yeah, we really are campaigning for changing places and inclusive play, and you know, ideally an inclusive world where it doesn't matter what your ability is, you're catered for.
Yeah, I think that's really, really important. So if anyone does want to check it out, there's the Facebook page on there where you can follow and support Mums on a Mission Swindon. And then I've also put on, there is the Changing Places website there. And that also gives a full list of where does have the Changing Places as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, so you can kind of plan your day out, which is what we have to do now.
Yeah, so there we go. So that is Mums on a Mission. So next up tonight, we're moving into, so talking about you, and obviously you mentioned that you were writing your memoirs, and we're going to come on to the topic of what you're actually writing them about. So just going to put out there, this could be a subject that could be triggering for some people. There may be some of you that may relate to it. Please do feel free to share if you want to, but it's kind of, it's you're going to share your honest account. So tell us about, is it ACOA, or how would you say that?
Yeah, ACOA is an adult child of an alcoholic. I didn't know ACOAs existed until a couple of months ago, and actually this is the first time that I've spoken publicly about it, so thank you for listening. But I think that in balance, this is a very safe community to speak from the heart about this. And it was my mum that was an alcoholic, although I do believe that my dad followed in her footsteps later on in his life. But when you say a mum with an alcohol problem, all sorts of images conjure up in your mind. But my mum was actually a middle class. My parents were very affluent. They were very known in our town because my dad had 3 businesses in the surrounding areas and a shop in the town that we lived in. And you know, they were part of Round Table and Ladies Circle, which was a kind of organization that raised money for local charities, very much giving back to the community. Lots of dinner parties, lots of aperitifs, lots of drinking, and it became sort of socially acceptable. It is socially acceptable to drink. And you know, there's so many sort of like jokes about you know, oh, you've had a bad day in lockdown, let's get the gin out, you know. And I've said it myself, because actually I just didn't twig. I'm like, okay, I thought that was normal. I thought everyone's mum drank. I thought everyone's mum hid their gin under the pillow. I thought everyone's mum hid it, you know, in the laundry basket. I just thought that was what happened.
You don't know.
No, it was, you know, normal. So yeah, that's the sort of brief background of it.
So that's them there. That's mum and dad there, isn't it?
That's a fake moustache, by the way.
Oh, I was going to say, he's sporting a very funky moustache there.
Yeah,
I did know that. So it's kind of like, obviously this is the first time you've spoken about it, so I don't want to kind of ask too many pressing questions. It's basically you've got space to kind of speak, say what you want to say, and kind of, you know, obviously this is a safe community and there's lovely supportive ladies here. So what was it like? Kind of, was it always like that growing up, or did it begin when you were a particular age, or how was it for you for a child?
Yeah, so I think it really started getting bad when I was around 10 or 12. But we were brought up in a very, my brother and I, he's 2 years younger than me, very secretive house, lots of kind of lies, not showing your emotions, burying your head under the carpet. No, that's not the right saying, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And there was a lot of secrets and lies and denial, and like she smoked, but she hid the fact that she smoked. Again, we used to find cigarettes under the cat basket. But the alcohol, I think, really took hold in my teens, so sort of 12, 13, 14, 15 onwards. And she actually passed away with sclerosis of the liver in her early 60s. She managed to keep going till then. But I would approach her and say, Mummy, I think you've got a problem. I think you've got an alcohol problem. You're an alcoholic. And she would turn around, even with a glass in her hand, and say, no, I haven't got a problem. How dare you? How dare you question me? You know, and put me off. And we were sent to our bedrooms, our separate bedrooms. So yeah, it was difficult.
Yeah, I think that's kind of part of the battle, is getting them to realize that they do actually have a problem. And did she, and if she did, like, when did she kind of realize and begin to get any help, if she did?
So my mum never ever admitted that she was an alcoholic. She never got any help. As I say, she was a very black and white thinker, and she came from a generation, she was born in 1946, where you do not question your elders, you respect them, children are seen and not heard. So really that was, you know, me. But what happened to me was that you get repressed, you get your voice isn't heard. We didn't have we had emotional neglect. We didn't have, it wasn't an abusive household, but we were emotionally neglected and forgotten about, really. You know, we didn't have any support. We had to support ourselves, and I really protected my brother. I stepped into the responsible child role. I was the good girl at school. I made my brother food. I looked after my brother when he got drunk. And yeah, living with addiction in the house, and I've just seen somebody just grown up with drugs and addiction. It's damaging. You do not come out of that household unscathed, even if you think it's normal. It's not normal. And there's lots of personality traits within me that I'm just discovering now, that I've had all of my life and never understood. And yeah, it's all kind of, the light switch has gone on and the bulb's just flashing, you know. And there's a lot of work to do still, but I'm getting there slowly.
Yeah, I suppose when you come to that point where you're not within that sort of bubble, so to speak, and you begin to see how other things are. And what was it like for you, like with friends? Would you like go over to their house and see how their parents were and notice a difference, or how was that for you?
So I didn't get invited very much to friends' houses because I couldn't have friends stay at my house. So what you carry as a child of an alcoholic parent is a sense of shame and secrecy. So it's an unspoken family secret that your mum hits the gin at 9 o'clock in the morning and she's absolutely blottoed when you come home from school. And you weren't really sure what you were going to walk into. Were you going to walk into your mum in tears, you know, on the kitchen floor? Were you going to walk into something different? In fact, my mum was a very high functioning. She had this incredible determination in denial, which meant that she was able to function as a mum. So she fed us, she washed our clothes, she cleaned the house was spotless. On the outside, she looked well presented. She had makeup on, nice jewelry. No one would have suspected. No one knew what was going on behind our closed doors. And really, we just kept away from her because she got quite wildly scary when she'd been drinking, and this glazed look would come across her, and you knew not to approach. You would not go anywhere near her then. And in fact, we all led sort of separate lives within this dysfunctioning family where no one spoke about anything. And I hated that. I hated the lies and the dishonesty. And I've really pushed back and tried to get it out of her. And I was like, you were, you know, we fell out so much because I just couldn't find a way in, and I wanted to fix her. And was it my fault? You know, it must be my fault because she's only angry at me. She's not angry at my brother. But my brother never, ever stood up to her and asked her or told her or so yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah. So what was the dynamic like? Obviously, you mentioned your dad come on a bit later, but what was the dynamic like between your parents? Did they have a good relationship, or was that kind of, I'd imagine, quite strained?
It's weird, you know, they were, I think, codependent on each other. My mum was absolutely devoted to him because and my dad, I adored him so much, and I put him on a pedestal, and he was my favorite. You know, they both loved us, but they didn't really show it. But occasionally my dad would. And we had a connection. And so he was just my best friend. But now I'm thinking, I'm so angry with him because he didn't ever fix it or help her, or he could have saved her. She doted on him that much. But actually he was giving her the housekeeping that she was spending on gin, you know, and that codependency kept going. But yeah, there were affairs, but they never split up. They always stayed together. My mum was very proud that they shared the same bed, and they didn't have separate bedrooms.
Yeah, that's what I think back in the day, wasn't it? That they would together, because the picture you sent in here, so this is you with them, isn't it? And otherwise you'd think like lovely happy family, you wouldn't think otherwise to look at. And obviously you're very well kept and happy looking. But then someone asked a very good question. It was Frankie. It said sort of, what was your mum's childhood like? So was there, I don't know, maybe something that's maybe triggered her, or she's had a hard time? I suppose 1946 was a bit of a tough time to be born into anyway.
Yeah, you're coming out of, actually there was still rationing. So yeah, absolutely. And I have I must just say that I love my mum dearly. And you can love someone and hate someone, or hate their choices at the same time. But yeah, my mum was born, and she was a twin. So she has a younger twin who was very, very poorly when she was born, because back then they didn't have scans in 1946. So here's a pregnant lady, and she gives birth to a baby girl. That's my mum. All fine. My granddad's heading back home, where the doctor intercepts him and says, the local GP, you've got another baby on the way. Can you get back to the hospital? So off he trots back to the hospital in complete shock, because baby number 2 is born, a blue baby, as they called them back then, without the oxygen. And she's very, very severely ill. But my auntie pulls through, and my mum gets sent to go and stay with her nan, her gran. So she's brought up, and she lives separately from her twin sister and her parents. And there you go. There's the first rejection. You know, there's the first dent in the self-esteem and that blow. So she never felt like she fitted in, I don't think. My mum never really talked about it. She never really talked to my auntie. And my auntie actually was an alcoholic as well. But my auntie went to AA, and my mum didn't know that they didn't know each other was an alcoholic, basically. And it's incredibly sad, that side of it, because they could have supported each other so much. But of course, nothing was spoken about then in the, you know, a Victorian.
Up a lip and.
It's get on with it. You know, they were just out of the war. You just get on with it. If you've got food on the table, that's the main thing. It's survival, isn't it? But yeah, and then of course my dad sort of had affairs, and that was, again, I think, the trigger of the self-esteem, because often she was crying, and I would ask her why, and she said, you know, because they chose Bibby. And there was a lot of family disruption there.
Yeah, see, Lydia said there, I would love to write my life story, which brings us on to a very interesting point. So you are actually writing your own memoirs and telling your story. So is that into a book or a blog, or what format is that going to be in?
So I think it's going to be a book at the moment. I'd like to write a book. I've always wanted to write a book. I never knew what about. And this seems like a good enough subject, you know, and I think it's very, very cathartic. And I think, yeah, if you feel writing's so powerful, isn't it? You know, you're getting it down on paper, you're sort of reliving it a little bit. You can heal, you can look compassionately at the situations. So yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, it is healing. It's like almost like journaling in a sense, because like obviously, you know me, I always tell people journal, 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 and to do that. But then as well, they say like write what you know, and you don't know any better than your own life. So it's kind of it's no brainer. But I'm really looking forward to when you get it put together. I would love to read that. So,
yeah, maybe you could proofread it for me, Laura.
yeah, why not? Send it my way. So would that include, obviously, would that be a bit of everything? So obviously your childhood, your parents, and then into like the kind of everything about Sabrina and whatnot?
No, I'm actually going to keep it to more about my parents' lives and my life growing up, and hopefully how I'm healing from that. You know, how I'm looking after myself, how I'm feeling compassionate about my people pleasing, and how I don't have any boundaries, and really I need some. You know, and how I like to control everything. And my high expectations and my drive and learning all about these traits that I've got as the responsible child. Yeah, and really the healing process where I started. You know, as I said, I was a holistic therapist, and when I couldn't fix my mum, I decided to fix the world. And I have to say, I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but I was bloody good as a holistic therapist. Yeah, why not? I could intuitively feel where their stress was. I think you become very emotionally switched on when you're in a toxic house and household. And yeah, I loved, you know, helping everybody else. It was a need in me. Yeah, that's been a really interesting journey, because when I realized it wasn't my fault that my mum drank, and I couldn't cure it. As soon as I realized that I couldn't fix her, I stopped doing beauty therapy. And I've kind of turned that inward now. I need to look after myself now, because I've got lots of people relying on me. I need to be here as long as I possibly can. I've quit drinking for the time being, because lockdown I was drinking too much. I had elevated liver count, blood tests, and that was from drinking wine 5 days a week. Only a couple of glasses, but that was enough for me. I'm not here to bash alcohol at all, but it's interesting how I'm quite sensitive to it.
Yeah, if it's like genetic and as well, I suppose, like, obviously it's not you bashing it, but you've grown up with that almost, I suppose, a toxic view of alcohol and what it can do. So it's not something that I suppose it's funny how it affects people, because obviously sometimes people are brought up with it and then they go for what they know, and then other times it makes you completely averse to it, and finding that balance. And
and it's for me, it's about breaking the cycle. It's for me not, I don't want my kids to see me drunk. I don't want them to see what I saw. You know, there was a lot of bad behavior that went along with the drinking. There was music till 3 or 4 o'clock at night. One occasion I ran away from home because I just couldn't handle it. The behavior was just unbelievable. And it was the night before my GCSEs, and they were having a party, and you know that it just gets out of control. And some people have a good relationship with alcohol and some people don't. And when realizing that it has a hold over you, which it almost did during lockdown for me, I was really looking forward to my glass of wine, and it was affecting me. And it does haze your view, and it takes away your inhibitions, and it makes bedtime a little bit easier. But actually, you know, facing your feelings has been my biggest sort of challenge, really. You know, but my childhood has taught me resilience, and resilience is what you need when you have a child with disabilities.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do find it's whether it's coincidence or what, but I do find a lot of people that have had difficult childhoods do have children with a disability, or they've got some sort of health troubles themselves, or they've been through something. And it's kind of like you say, building that resilience. So it's maybe, like you say, they choose us, we don't choose them. And it's maybe they know that we've got that strength, we've been through that crap to be strong and resilient, to be able to give them what they need. It's really, really, really interesting. But talking about obviously the relationship with your parents and whatnot, but it was about a year ago, like we connected, wasn't it? And something, I don't know if
Yeah.
that's the right word. I don't know what word to use. Yeah, when we first connected, and obviously I'd done you a reading, that was when I was doing the mediumship.
Yeah.
And
So yeah,
crazy, blew my
it was,
mind.
yeah, because it was in the middle of one of the lockdowns, I think,
Yeah, I think it
and
was the first one.
yeah, and and my friend Soph, who's on now, told me about you, and I think I joined one of your groups, and we went for this kind of group reading. In fact, Pat was on the same group as me. We were all
Yes.
blubbing our eyes out halfway through because my mum came through like this perfect mother, and she, what can I say? We had the most amazing conversation. It was a two-way conversation for at least 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Laura, you're so gifted. But that was a real catalyst for me. It was a catalyst for change. It was time to forgive. It was time to heal. It's time to move on. Instead of living in this sort of feeling of not understanding myself. It was a really powerful time. Yeah.
Because obviously I think I'd had very little interaction with you before that. I didn't really know much about you apart from that you used to live here. And
Yeah.
that was about it. And then obviously everything that I give you on that reading, I actually forgot that it was the group one, because it was just, I was so focused in on you and your energy. And it was really, really lovely to do that one, because it seemed like there was the dynamic that I got. I wouldn't have thought that there was that history before she'd passed, because it just flowed so nicely, and it was really, really nice to do. So I don't know if that for you, if that was like a closure or just a confirmation of that relationship being there.
Yeah, it was the most amazing feeling, because I felt like my mum, yeah, Pat, you remember, it felt like my mum was just the best version of herself. She was the mum I really wanted her to be. She'd
Yeah.
obviously done the counselling, and she'd come out the other side, and she was telling me that I was beautiful. She never said that in real life. She spoke about my wedding dress. She wasn't at my wedding because she'd passed away by then. But she just reassured me so much, and I felt loved, and I felt wanted, and I felt this connection. And actually, I've been talking to her during my meditations, and she's come through many times for me since then, in a very kind of angelic way, almost a very spiritual way. And the last time she came through, she took my inner child away to heal, which was quite amazing. Yeah. I
Incredible.
could do with that back, actually, Mum.
Yeah. Oh, that's incredible, because it's almost like in spirit she's realizing that there is that healing to be done, and it's almost like her making amends for you, which I suppose is a big thing, because even though while she was here you didn't quite get that, but to have that connection now, I suppose it's comforting for you as well. So
Yeah.
it's absolutely amazing. Honestly, I was so honored to be able to do that with you, or for you. And even some of the information I was getting, like, I've got full trust in myself, but some of it, when I said it and you were like, I was like, oh my God, down to the fact, like, when I described her at some point and you said, oh, this is, and you held the photograph up that was right in front of you. And that was just how she looked as I described her.
Yeah, I'd looked at that photo pre coming on, because I was willing her to come through. there were so many kind of confirmations that it was her. That's untrue. There was so many jewelry, you know, descriptions, my wedding dress description, the flower, the Carla lily that I put on my dad's coffin, which was what set me off, because you were sort of saying, oh, you know, this flower, describing it, and I was like, oh my God, because obviously, you know, she died before my dad. So yeah, it was just mind-blowing, absolutely incredible. You're incredible. And yeah, I felt quite bad that I kind of took all the time from people.
Yeah, I think everyone enjoyed watching it as well. It was because, like, as I'd say, it was a display of mediumship, so it was there for people to not join in, but to obviously see as well. And I think that was a lot of people kept that with them. I think I had a lot of feedback of how amazing it was to watch. So absolutely incredible. But also lots of lovely comments coming in. Thank you. But another topic that we're going to move on to for tonight is menopause and perimenopause and hormones. So we're pretty much, I think we're all women here. So it's either something that we're going through, we've been through, or we're headed towards. So whether you like it or not, it's there or it's coming.
Yeah. And I'm by no means an expert. I'm not a menopausal expert, but I have got some links that could help everyone, that my top 4 people that I follow. But Davina's an expert. But yeah, that goes back to your mum as well. It's interesting because you follow your mum's or your elder sister sort of menopausal symptoms most of the time. Apparently, so it's always worth, you know, just asking, having that conversation if you do have that opportunity with your mum. I didn't get the opportunity, but I do remember the mood swings, and guess what, I've got them as well. So yeah, it's a massive subject. I think women as a whole have been repressed during menopause. You know, don't talk about the change, no one needs to know about the change, but actually it's massive. It's absolutely massive for us, and it's affecting me so much that I'm really having to dig deep on the self-care. And it's scary because you don't know what to expect. You have no idea what the hell's going on. Suddenly you're crying and you're sweating and you're hot and you're swelling and you're in pain, and you just want to be on your own. You know, it's crazy.
That's right. There you go. Pat started early. Mum had when she was 36. Wow. See, the thing is, I was saying to you earlier, though, like, obviously in schools, as a young girl, you have the talk about periods. And I don't know what anyone else thinks. I'm not shy to talk about periods. I'm very open with my children about it. And it's not something that I treat as disgusting or that should be shied away. It's a natural thing. We shouldn't shy away from it. But obviously in school, as young girls, we're taught about what to expect and whatnot. But then we're not really taught anything about the menopause and what to expect. And as an almost 31-year-old woman, I know next to nothing about the menopause and what to expect, how it might affect me, how I know it's happening. There's not a lot out there. But obviously you mentioned lovely old Davina there.
There she is.
Let's take that down so we can see her t-shirt. Menopausing. Her go on.
There's a big talk, and it's a big discussion at the moment about HRT, because a lot of us were absolutely petrified and frightened back in the 80s and 90s about these newspaper headlines saying HRT will give you breast cancer, and the doctors, the menopausal doctors, are saying this is just simply isn't true. These studies were done on older ladies, people aren't getting HRT. I mean, I've tried 3 times to get something from my doctor, and he's given me antidepressants, but which I'm not depressed, so I really shouldn't be taking these, you know. And that's the problem. The doctors don't, our GPs, bless them, they don't do any training on it, or they do like half a day training. And so you have to go private. And I looked into private costs. It's £250 for your initial consultation and £150 thereafter. I mean, you know, why are we reduced to having to spend that much money when, you know, you can get these drugs, HRT, on the NHS, if you're lucky enough to convince a doctor that you need them. But you have to be pretty desperate. And actually, apparently they won't give you HRT until you've stopped your periods for 2 years. Well, I'm still having periods. And, you know, I'm having all the hot flushes and the erratic periods and outbursts of anger, headaches, because the thing with estrogen, so you're losing, your body is obviously depleting in estrogen, and you have estrogen receptors all over your body. You have them in your brain, you have them in your toes. You can literally feel the menopause from head to toe if you're unlucky. And I get terrible headaches. And it started with me, I'd say, when I was 41. My hair started to fall out, not in clumps, but just generally. And I've lost 50% of my hair density in 7 years. I'm 48 now. So yeah, I think we should all talk about it. We should all support each other. We should all look after each other.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Sophie asked a good question. Is it true that the earlier you begin your period, the earlier you start the menopause? I suppose it's that cycle, like how long does a general cycle last in their lifetime?
Yeah, it's very individual. Like, you know, somebody at 36 started their menopause. It can be for all sorts of different reasons and health reasons. But I would say, if you get the opportunity, ask your mum, and, you know, maybe that'll give you a clue, because we tend to follow in their footsteps. But you would know about it because you can feel yourself changing. You can feel it, you know, you can feel it all over your body. The hair loss crept up on me a bit, and the anger outburst, well, I just thought I was angry. But, you know, the period side of it, the heavy periods, erratic periods, a change in your periods, that's a good sign too. And then they eventually stop.
Yeah, because it's, I don't, for me, I was quite late starting. I think I was 14, probably 15. So I was quite late. A lot of my friends had already started, but then for me, I didn't have boobs till I was 21, so that's another story. I was just like really like underdeveloped, and the only reason I got boobs at 21 is because I'd given birth. So I had a child and I had that engorged boobies. But yeah, I was very small, like very flat chested until like just before I had children, and obviously my periods were very late. But then for me, I really struggled, and I was very irregular, very heavy. So I got put on the pill at age 15, and that kind of had a stigma that come with it. And even now, so I'm not on any contraception now, because obviously with my fibro, it plays havoc, the hormones with the contraceptive and whatnot. Like, I've had the implant, I've done the pill. I'm not so keen to go on the coil because it just, I don't know, it doesn't sit right. But so then, like, for me, it's just kind of like the cycle, it's very on and off. And I'm like a bit like, oh. But then with my mum, she, like someone in the comments has said, my mum had to have a emergency hysterectomy. So, and that was quite young as well. I think she was probably mid-30s. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna fare going through the change and whatnot.
Yeah. I think, you know, if you think you're starting, and it's called peri-menopause, the beginning bit, which can last up to 10 years, by the way, right? My poor husband's saying, when will you come out the other end? I should never be the same again. But yeah, you basically, you know, that can last a long time. I would say just start following the experts, because there are some really, really good menopausal doctors on Instagram and Facebook, and, you know, they have a lot of live information, a lot of current up-to-date information, and you can get estrogen in gels, and Davina, you know, advocates for the patches. It's not scary. It doesn't need to be as scary as it feels, you know.
Yeah, because you've said, so there's so your top menopause Instagram links to follow. So you've got Louise Newson. So she's a doctor, isn't she?
She's the doctor, and she's Davina's doctor. I think she's private. Yeah.
Fab. And then obviously Davina. Then is it Dr. Becky Quick?
Yeah.
And then you've got Naomi Potter as well.
Yeah. Becky Quick is a psychologist, and she's amazing. So she gives you coping strategies, because let me tell you, stress makes every symptoms 10 times worse. So, you know, looking after yourself, exercising, all of those things, you know, I've never taken them very seriously. I've just pushed on. And actually now I really have to listen to my body every single day, and not get too stressed.
Yeah. I'm just, Franca says, how long does the menopause last? Well, I think once you've got it, that's it until you're gone, isn't it?
Yeah. It's peri-menopause can last up to 10 years, but once your periods have stopped for at least 2 years, you're certainly in menopause stage where your periods are stopping and have stopped. So then you've forever lost the estrogen, you've forever lost the testosterone. It's basically drying up, and that's another symptom, is vaginal dryness. I mean, I haven't got to that stage yet, but I'm sure I will, you know, and that is very uncomfortable, sore. It can get cracked. I mean, you know, these things are happening, and I've never heard of that. I didn't know that could happen. You know, this goes beyond.
I heard of that. So Mark watches Sons of Anarchy, and that's how I found out about that, because obviously I can't remember the name of the character who's his mum, but she's going through it, and then she's like obviously gone dry, and then it shows her journey going through the change, which actually, considering it's a series about these big burly bikers doing crime and all this, and then it touches on a story on menopause, I thought that was really, really good that they'd factored that in.
Yeah, so, definitely. It's real life, isn't it? Yeah.
So Kelly says, what if you have a hysterectomy but have ovaries? Oh, I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
I'm not sure. I don't know how the hormones would work. Would they still release the hormones, or? Oh, I don't know on that one. You'd have to maybe have a look, and that one's stumped me a bit, I think. So that would be interesting.
Sorry.
The answer of that, though. Pat says the HRT helps with it, but then I'd seen that Pat had said that she had to come off the HRT because she kept bleeding. So I think it's kind of us women, we don't have it easy. There you go. Pat says that you would still release the hormones.
Interesting. Yeah, do you know what? If this was a male issue, this would be a lot better funded. There'd be more research. There'd be out there. There'd be a cure. You know, there would be all of that.
Yeah, well, you see all of the awareness and all the adverts for erectile dysfunction and all of that, and it's a big thing. But and it's kind of like, you can talk about erectile dysfunction, and there's no kind of like, ooh. But as soon as women talk about periods or menopause, all the men are like, oh no, we don't want to know about that. But it's a natural thing. It happens, and I think the fact that there's not so much support there, and it's a natural thing that happens to all women, I think it's a real shame that there's not more support out there. There's not more education out there based on it, and there really, really does need to be. But talking about kind of what we can do, because I did see that, I think it was Dawn. Yes, Dawn said, I'm going through it, but I'll not take anything for it. I'm doing it naturally, which actually takes us on to our next bit. So obviously, where you've mentioned that you did, you're obviously trained in all the holistic healing and whatnot. And so do you want to put forward some tips?
Yeah, I'll try. Yeah, definitely. So I'm studying again. I used to study in London, Ayurvedic medicine, and it's the Indian philosophy for health. And I love it because it encompasses everything. It's the food we eat, it's the exercise we do, it's the self-care techniques, it's your personality, and it's geared up to feed into your personality and rebalance you. So you have all of the elements within you: the air, the ether, the earth, water, and fire. And during the menopause, unsurprisingly, you get a bit fiery. So it's about hot flushes that rage through you, and these anger outbursts. And I'm especially fiery, I think, because of some of the childhood stuff as well coming out just right now. And yeah, so it's about chamomile tea. It's about calming, pacifying the fire. Yeah, it's about sort of eating calming things, and calming things in Ayurvedic medicine are oats, chamomile, coconut's very calming. So coconut, eating it, coconut, rubbing the oil on your skin. There's loads of different techniques. And if you're more airy, you're more prone to anxiety, and you have to eat more sort of grounding, heavier foods. You have to exercise if you can, and stretching's really good. And if you're more of a kapha, you're more earth and water, and they're the heavier types, so the couch potato, which I used to be growing up. So yeah, but they tend to put on weight easily, so they have to eat the lighter foods, the lower fat foods. So yeah, it's really interesting, but it goes down, it goes through. The seasons can change. We're coming into pitta season now. We're coming into the fire season. So salads are obviously really good to eat. I mean, it's common sense, but there are also herbs that you can take for menopause, and herbs that you can take for your imbalance. And we all have different imbalances. And you can find an Ayurvedic questionnaire, a dosha questionnaire online. I would have put it up if I'd have thought about it. And you can find out where your imbalances lie, and then you can have a look and see what sort of herbs and foods suit you. But I'm finding it really beneficial.
Yeah, definitely. What you could do afterwards, if you get the link for that, you can just pop it in the comments after we come off the live. I'm just reading there, just laughing at Lauren's comment there. Can tell you not all men suffer with erectile dysfunction, but we all as women suffer from menopause, which is true. It is true. Yeah. And then Jules says, hello, ladies. I have a friend who had a hysterectomy in her 30s. She's mid-50s now and still has a hormonal cycle. Yeah, I've heard of that, like a phantom cycle, where you still move through the moods and whatnot, but there's no actual period.
Yeah, that makes sense. You still get the PMT or the menopausal spikes. Yeah. That's a shame, isn't it? What a shame. But yeah, I think also with me, it's kind of like accepting that, do you know what, I've had my children. If you've chosen to have children, and I thank my womb for that. And I'm coming into, as Rebecca Campbell would say, the wise woman. I'm waiting for the wisdom to drop, but the wise woman and the crone, and there is something about getting to this age and the menopause. It makes you fiery. It makes you get shit done. It makes you have the power to do stuff, and it gives you lots of creativity and lots of ideas. And it's quite a kind of an awakening, a transformation, a transforming time.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of, the crone is such a part, because to get to that crone phase, you've faced everything throughout your life. You've gained this wealth of knowledge and wisdom, and it's kind of like it's the exciting part. Like, what are you going to do with it? And because I suppose before then you're just learning, you're taking it all in, and it's kind of like, I suppose the way I see it is almost like if you've got a hill and you've got the maiden at the bottom of the hill, the mother's about halfway up, so she can look back and see how far she's come, but she knows she's still got that way to get. And then you've got the crone who's on the top of the hill, who can see, like, she can see everything, like all the shit that's gone on, all the stuff she's done. She can take it all in, and then she thinks, right, I'm here. I don't necessarily need to go further, but it's my choice. I can do what I want. You've got it all to hand. And it's really powerful. And like I was saying to you earlier, I do feel I'm quite an old soul, and for me it's constantly like I feel like I'm not old enough yet, and it's like this rush for me to feel older. And at one point I remember, like, kind of in my mid-20s, I used to kind of wish wrinkles on myself, and now I'm like, you stupid cow, why would you do that? Because they're like this, you can't see them on here, I've got good lighting and good makeup, but they're starting to come in. But actually, rather than worrying about aging, I'm embracing it, and I'm enjoying growing. Obviously I'm only like very early 30s.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, it feels like it's an accomplishment to age. It's, what's the word? It's a privilege to get older, because not everyone has that privilege.
No,
so it's,
I agree. And we're living longer, aren't we? We're living so much longer. And, you know, back in the olden days, you'd have your menopause, and unfortunately you die after, you know, around that time. But we're living so much longer, and we've got so much more to do. And why shouldn't you feel your best self? That you've got no reason why you can't, you know, you can still have a full sexual relationship, you know. That's what Davina's pushing. And I think her program's really good if you get the chance to watch it. It's good.
So that's on Channel 4, and that's Davina McCall's Sex, Myths and the Menopause. So I've seen everyone like raving about it, and I haven't had a chance to watch yet. So if I get a chance tonight before he comes home, I'm gonna whack that on and give it a good watch and get in on it. But yeah, so talking about like the kind of how you can support yourself, where you were saying earlier, a few of the bits I've got. So like you've got your aromatherapy and whatnot. So like, I suppose the bath salts and the bombs and everything, you can, that's beneficial because like you said, there's the herbs and whatnot. So what would be like your, I know you mentioned food, so kind of thinking like herb wise or anything that's
I might have to post the link on the herb that I've been recommended, but then again, it might not be best for everyone. But certainly with aromatherapy, you're pretty safe if you stick with geranium, which is balancing out your hormones, and your ylang ylang, which is a real sort of what's the yang ylang? I've forgotten what it's for now.
Is it aphrodisiac, is it?
Brain fog, that's another symptom. Aphrodisiac, and it's a mood enhancer. So those sort of things, and obviously calming chamomile, lavender, rose is really good for menopausal women. It's really sort of nurturing. And one of the Ayurvedic techniques is to give yourself a self massage, which is something that I've not really done. I've massaged everyone else, but I've never massaged myself. So even if it's a hand massage, you wouldn't believe how much tension you hold in your hands. And it's just about giving yourself that little ritual that you enjoy to make yourself feel, you know, better and cared for.
Definitely. Well, where you mentioned the hand massage, so I did a talk last week for I'm a member of RWI, but I was our guest speaker, and I spoke about like spiritual health and well-being, and I wasn't sure how it was going to go down, but it was very well received. And I actually led them through a chakra hand massage. So I led them through the chakra points on the hand, and they really enjoyed it, and they felt it was beneficial. So with the chakras on the hand, so you've got the wrist is the root, and then so obviously you'd start off with the chakras, you work bottom to top. So you'd start off massaging the wrist for the root, and then you would move up to, you've got the sacral, which is there just under the little finger. So you'd massage in sacral, and then for solar plexus, you go in here. Now, obviously, solar plexus is your confidence, any anxiety, anything like that. So if you're feeling particularly anxious, just almost like pinching and putting some pressure in there. Especially
in there.
can you feel it like a release, and just giving it. If it's feeling sore and tender, that's probably giving you a bit of an imbalance or a blockage or something in the solar plexus. Then from there, you'd move solar plexus into the heart, which is there just below the middle finger. So in that one, so you give it, and you can kind of do front and back. And then from there, you move to throat, which is that real fleshy bit on the thumb. So that's your throat. So if that's feeling tender or sore, you've probably got a bit of a blocked throat chakra there. So that one, and then you move up the thumb. So almost like where the knuckle is on the thumb, that's your third eye. So that feels like, if you're anything, I've got arthritis in my hands, so I quite enjoy doing this, because as well as doing the chakra points, it drains the lymph nodes as well. It's quite good for water. And then you've got the top of the thumb there, that's the crown. So obviously giving into that. So even doing that, just rubbing your hands is nice. But if you want to add a bit more purpose in and really help the chakras, so you've got root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, that's really interesting. Because I do reflexology as well, but getting to your feet isn't always easy.
No, it's not. And I had reflexology done last week by a lovely lady, Jilly. Anyone who's local, Jilly's based in Shipton Bellinger, and I have a real aversion to people touching my feet. It makes me want to gag. So I was really, really wary about it, and I went, and honestly, it was absolutely amazing. I carry quite, like, in my hands and my feet, I have a lot of water retention, and she felt all the points, and it was just amazing. And then I looked down, and I was like, I've got skinny feet. And you could see the instant, like, there was that release, obviously, where she'd massaged all the lymph nodes and whatnot and drained it. But it was so nice. I'm definitely going back again soon. So reflexology is amazing.
I did a lady with water retention in London, and she stood up and got dressed after, and her trousers fell down because I'd actually released so much fluid. Her trousers fell down. She couldn't believe it. She had to put a belt on.
That's it. And another thing to mention, obviously, if you do anything like that, just to drink lots and lots of water to flush all the toxins out, you will pee like a racehorse, but that's good because it's getting it all out.
Definitely.
Lots of ways you can do yourself, okay, like the hand massage, or there's the meditation, even like a hot bath. It's good. So talking about hot baths, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I've got obviously the bath salts there. Why not? I've got the bath salts. So if you want to enjoy a hot bath, but the ones that you were mentioning, so the one of them I've got, so it's the special PMT, but I suppose that would work for menopause as well. And the ingredients are geranium, lavender, and bergamot in there. They smell. I've had actually a few people have ordered this one. I had to order more of this in stock. I've had really good feedback. But then also you mentioned the ylang ylang one. So that one's the passion potion. So either self-love or a bit of, like I just said, an aphrodisiac. And that's ylang ylang, lemon, and orange in that one.
Oh, and lovely.
They do tint your bath. They do give a slight little colour. It's not going to stain your skin. But obviously, you know me, I'm into all my colour therapy and colour healing. So even that visual of the colour makes a difference as well. Just seeing what I've got. So you've got Total Unwind, which is lavender, orange, and basil in that one. So you've got that one, and that turns out a lovely kind of shade of turquoise. It's gorgeous. Ooh. Really nice. And then this one, Stress Buster. This has been popular. That one is bergamot, geranium, and vetiver there as well.
That would be good. Vetiver's very grounding, so that's really good for anyone who's air and ether. So your natural warriors, they're normally slim, they enjoy exercise, they're busy, always on the go. They need that in their life.
Amazing. There's a cold and flu one that's got eucalyptus, black pepper, and something else, but that's up in the bathroom because I've been using that one. But then the new ones, because they're all sea salts with the infused aromatherapy oils. But these ones I've just got in there fresh. I think either I was just finishing uploading them to the shop or they're just on there. But these are the Himalayan ones. So this is ylang and rose, which obviously you mentioned with the Himalayan salt. So it's actually got little bits of rose petals in it.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, that's really good. That's really rose is really nurturing. Yeah.
And they're quite hefty. So they're 500 grams. The other ones are 350. But then the other one you've got is lavender and seeds. So it's got the lavender and actually little bits of the lavender seeds in it. And
nice.
I might opt for this one tonight.
Yeah. Really it's the central nervous system. That's going to affect your central nervous system and calm your central nervous system, which is really important.
It is amazing. And the other thing, I've got some new soaps, which have just gone on. Actually, have they gone on? No, I haven't done them yet. So they're nearly on there, but I haven't updated the stock. So I've got, obviously, everyone knows last time I had the Herb Grace one, which had rue in it, which was good for, like, obviously arthritis and anti-rheumatic and whatnot. So that's a lovely one. That's been there before. And the propolis, which propolis is amazing. Like all sorts of bits you can do with the propolis. But the new ones. So I'll go to that one in a second. So because you mentioned coconut as well and rubbing it on the skin.
Have you got one?
They asked and I delivered. So I've gone for a coconut one. And actually, see the bits in there? That is the husk of the coconut. So it's like a really
amazing. Yeah, beautiful. That will really exfoliate skin, your
Yeah.
dead skin cells.
It smells really good. So these ones are the cold pressed olive oil ones. So that obviously that olive oil is really, really good for the skin.
Yeah.
But the pièce de resistance, that's the watermelon one. Oh, I cannot tell you how good this smells. It's like mouth watering. It's amazing. And
Look at the colours as well.
I know, it's just like, oh. And each one, obviously, they come in the bars like that, but they're hand cut. So bars would be about that size. So they're quite hefty. And then hand cut with my my guillotine. I joked with Mark and I was like, I'll cut your fingers off if you don't behave.
Could be worse. It could be something else.
It could be, yeah. If ever we have trouble with erectile dysfunction, we'll just pull off it. Oh dear me. So yeah, that's each bit of soap is hand cut in the guillotine by my fair hands. But there is other bits on the shop. I've got new face masks on there as well, which have gone up today. So lots of lovely bits for self-care and treating yourself. So
yeah.
Oh, wonderful. But no, thank you for your input and expertise on the ingredients and yeah, lots of people saying I want that one.
Yeah, I want them all now, thanks.
Yeah. Well, Vicky said she said she loves her soap, so I sent Vicky. She got the Propolis and the Herb Grace one, and she's been raving about the salts as well, which has been lovely to get the reviews and feedback. But no, thank you so much for coming on this evening. It's been, I could talk to you forever.
Oh, bless you. Me too.
Yeah, it's been lovely to have you on. Obviously, we've covered a lot of ground, and also thank you for sharing like your personal stories as well, and for going into all of that. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for making us so safe community, so I could do it. You know, it's really special. Thank you, and thank you everyone for listening. If you've stuck it to the end, well done.
Yeah. We've still got quite a few on. It's really, really lovely. I'm glad that they've stayed through. So I'm gonna hang about for a bit longer. Leslie says, "Wish we had smell-o-vision." So I'll hang about a bit longer. Obviously, I promised I'd do some more readings, and I've got a few bits to chit chat about. But you're welcome to hang out backstage if you want to, like listen in. Or you're welcome to head off. But no, thank you again so much for coming on. And obviously, all the links are in the comments. But what I'll do is I'll put a post up with everything that we've spoken about this evening, so people can check it out and have a look. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Laura. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I absolutely loved having Louise on. It wasn't that, I mean, you know, since I first started having special guests on, I had Louise in mind for ages, and to have her on, I'm sure you agree with me. It was an absolute pleasure to have Louise to chat through everything, to have a good old chit chat. Oh no, right, Leslie's frozen. Hopefully, I've not frozen on everyone else's. So yeah, that was amazing. Also with the shop, if you do want to pop on and get anything, there's a few of the new bits I still need to upload and put on there, but that will be done tonight. So do hang about. Obviously, you've got the bath salts. There is the bath bombs are on there. You've got the soaps, the face masks. But then also in the shop, I've got incense. I have got tarot and oracle cards. I've got sage. And then there's all of Leslie's lovely stock, the crystals, the selenite charging plates. I don't know, Leslie, if Leslie, you're still there. If you've got any moons left, do let us know. The moons near enough pretty much sold out last time. They were that popular. But do go on to anavea.co.uk and you can check out the shop on there. Also, if you want to find out more about me and what I do, you can have a browse and find out more about me and see kind of what kind of readings I do. If you want to book in a one-to-one, also my masterclasses and whatnot. Leslie's got 2 moons left. There we go, 2 moons. So buy now or forever hold your peace. There you go. Pat, you are very, very welcome. Pat says, thank you for bringing Louise on. So also Dawn says, wonderful interview, loads of information. It was. I really, really, really enjoyed having Louise on. It was an absolute pleasure. And as I say, I'll put all of the info on the page So yeah, still got a few bits to chat about this evening. So if you are still here and you're hanging on, then thank you for being here and for listening in, tuning in. And a few of you are kind of first timer newbies. So it's really good to have you here listening in. I will do some readings shortly. I've got a couple of bits to tell. So first up, something that I was going to mention that's very, very exciting, and something that was was asked today and was also confirmed today, and I can now put out there. But let's I put it on my personal profile earlier, but I didn't put it on the main page. But check this out. So as you can see there, so I am the newest member to the Friends of Derek ACOA team, and I'll be going live on Derek's page once a week, and that will be on Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. UK time. So you'll be able to find me obviously here on a Tuesday evening, and then also over on Derek's page on a Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. So all very exciting, and that will be from next week. So do give Derek's page a follow if you don't already, and do tune in. And obviously between now and then, there is the other members of the team, the Friends of Derek ACOA, who go on weekly and they do readings. There's mediumship, there's psychics on there, there's all sorts of guidance and whatnot. So do check that out. So I'm very, very excited. That's a yay for me. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased about that, and I'm really, really honored to have been asked to join the team. So it's an absolute pleasure. So thank you all for your lovely comments as well. So you'll see the smoke, it's my incense, it's blowing. So yeah, that's the good news. So another thing that I want to put out there, so if you're on my email list, you will have had an email about this already, and also if you're in my Soul Circle membership, you will have heard about it because you'll have had an email and I've spoken about it on the lives in the group. So my Soul Circle ladies found out about this, I think it was Friday morning, I put it out there. So it's something that I am bringing to my offerings. You'll notice that I've condensed down a lot of what I offer. Lots of lovely comments as well. Thank you all so much. It's honestly, it's oh yay. So no, thank you all for your lovely comments and your congratulations. So yeah, on the website I've cut back on a lot of what I offer because I didn't want to dilute and lose the essence of what it is that I do. So if you're new to watching me and new to seeing who I am and what I do, I've been quite well behaved this evening. Normally I'm very sweary, I'm quite direct, but in a nice way. I like to give guidance with love, but I don't beat around the bush. I don't bullshit people, and I like to swear a lot. But with my offerings, obviously I'm doing a lot of the masterclasses at the minute. I've got my Soul Circle membership and a couple of the courses and workshops that I'm putting on. So it was trying to condense down what I offer to not dilute and not to confuse so much for you. So you can still book the one-to-ones with me. You can book 30 minutes or 60 minutes. But if you're new to watching me, I'm not what you would call a psychic. That's not what I would say I am. So my readings have got like an element of healing and of guidance within them. Lots of you watching have had readings with me, and it's more about kind of digging deep within to help you find a path forward, to help you kind of feel into and realize who you are and have more confidence about doing that and more confidence about being you, rather than me just telling you a load of old shit to let you wander off and worry that bad stuff's going to happen. Like if I do see anything bad in your reading, I will absolutely tell you, but I'll also tell you how to navigate it, how to either avoid it or work through it and whatnot. And it's I like to help people. I am definitely a giver. I won't just leave you with a load of shite and kind of sit in a corner and cry about it. That's not what I do. I have so many people that have had readings from people before, and they sort of say, oh, they told me this and I'm really worried about it. But I don't want you to leave a reading. I don't like to even call them readings. I like to call them guidance sessions, because that's what I deliver. So you get 30 minutes or you get 60 minutes, and that's bookable via the website up there. But also I run a lot of different masterclasses. So there we go. Sam says, there you go. Thank you, Sam. Oh, you'll need to tell me about that later. I'll ask you. Frankie likes direct and honest. Good. You've come to the right place. So yeah, a lot of my offerings I've condensed down. So I don't do the inbox readings anymore. That's a no from me, I'm afraid. And I don't do the little bits because I want to connect with you on a much kind of deeper level. So if you are looking for something to be received in your inbox, what I do offer is you can get a projection. So that will cover either, it's your choice, 3, 6 or 12 months. And that will give you not only a tarot guidance breakdown for each month, but you'll also receive chakra guidance, and you get channeled crystal energy within that as well. And obviously you choose your 3, 6 or 12 months, and that's a multi-page document that gets sent to you. It looks fancy. It's not just a Word document. I do make it look nice. And that will come to you to use throughout the time period of whatever you select. There's a lot of ladies, a few of you watching actually, that have had the projections and have referred to it, and it's either helped guide them through, it's given them reassurance, or it's just helped them kind of be ready for what's ahead. So that is the inbox thing that I offer. But this is the new thing that I'm really, really excited to tell you about, that I've been building up to. Michelle, hello, my lovely. How are you doing? Good to see you on here. So yeah, the new thing that I've been building up to that I want to talk about. So as well as doing all my intuitive stuff and my healing and the guidance and whatnot, I'm also an artist. I'm artistically trained. I've been a professional artist doing animal portraits for, about 7 years. And then I also do the soul art as well. So you probably can't see, but there is some of my paintings behind me. And I know Kelly keeps asking about if I'm going to have prints done. Yes, I will, but I need to get my arse in gear and work on creating some new ones about, like, obviously that I can put into a selection, a series. So I'm just kind of waiting on the inspiration to come in, and then I will be full steam ahead creating a series of new soul art paintings, and then they will be released as prints or on different things. But also I do commission soul art as well, so if you want a piece. And tomorrow is the third and final session of the soul art series that I've been doing with a group of amazing ladies. It's been a 3-part series, and that is coming to an end, but it will not be the end. There will be more to come. But yes, so talking about all the art side of things, it seemed almost natural for me to go from working intuitively and also working artistically to combine the two with my artistic knowledge, my color knowledge, because I've not just got knowledge of color through the chakras, color through healing, but I've also got like technical artistic knowledge of the color wheel, how it all works and whatnot. So within that, what I've done is I have combined an offering, actually 2 that I'm going to tell you about, but one of them that I want to bring to you first is, which I'm really, really excited to talk about, is a bespoke color chart. So what is a bespoke color chart? Well, let me tell you. So a bespoke color chart it's similar, kind of along the lines of an astrological chart that you'd have done. Obviously you need your birthday and whatnot. I don't necessarily need your time and place of birth, because I just work with the sun sign on this one. You don't need the moon or the rising sign. But what I'd do is I'd work with your sun sign to give you your astrological color. Then from there, I would give you a personality profile analysis, and then would also work at your harmonious and your complementary colors, which sounds complicated, but it's really, really not. And then from there, what I would do is go deeper into giving you your soul colors. So there's a process that I've put together which helps you discover 3 soul colors. So you have your dominant soul color, your submissive soul color, and your emerging soul color. And it almost facilitates a color reading as well. So it will give colors that align with you in different aspects of your personality, but also that can help you with advice or help you kind of delve deeper more into like you and who you are. So then from there, I would also do a chakra analysis where I would use the pendulum to really feel out your chakras, how balanced they are. And then I'd do like a bit of distance chakra healing. And then you would also get a chakra body reading from that. So very comprehensive, and it would come in a document much like it would when you have an astrological chart done. So like this color chart would be a multi-page document, and it would be all lovely. It would be printable. And with the chart, it doesn't expire. That information will be you time and time again. The only bit that will change is obviously the chakra analysis and the body reading, because that will be of the time. So then what you do is you would have your chart done with that included, and then you would have to leave it at least 6 months before you have the chakra reading part done again. Obviously longer if possible, but the initial chart, you would never have to have that done again, because that would be you from the beginning, and that's there. So that's now on the website available to order them, and that will generally, it depends obviously, because they are quite comprehensive. I've put on there 2 to 3 weeks, but because I'm just releasing it now, if you're one of the first to book, you're obviously going to get it faster than that time scale. So you're probably wondering, oh, it sounds great, but how much is it? So I have got it up at a special launch price. So bearing in mind, it's a very comprehensive document, and you get the healing and the body reading within that. So you can book your bespoke color chart at the special launch price of just £47, which is £20 off, because from the 1st of June, it will be 67. So if you want to bag that color chart for you, and it is completely bespoke. So your one will not suit someone else. So even if you've got the same birthday as someone else, your chart will not match another person's. Maybe the your zodiac, like your astrological color, will be the same, but your chart will be completely different. So these are 100% personalized to you. So as I said, that's just £47. It's £20 off. So if you do want to book it, you've got, what are we on now? You've got probably just over a week to get on that. So you can obviously visit Anavea there, and you'll find it under the readings and guidance tab on the website. So that is there if you want it. The only thing you need to put in, obviously, your name, and your email will go through anyway, but also your birthday. So it doesn't really matter about the year, but if you just pop in your birthday, so I can work out what your sun sign is, and then I can create that from there. So there we have it. Lots of you. There you go. Kelly says it sounds very interesting. There you go. Sam, count me in. Yay. Oh, fab. Michelle, oh no, you're still on the crutches. Oh, well, sending you lots and lots of love, and sending you some distance healing as well. So that is there if you do want that chart, but it doesn't stop there. So another thing that I've got as well is, if you want to learn more about the color, how you can use it yourself, and actually it goes hand in hand with the color chart, because the more you understand about color, the more you can understand either why it's in your chart or what you can do with it. So through a couple of masterclasses that I've done for various other things, the color keeps coming back and back now. So what I've done as well is I have put on a masterclass, which you can join. I'm so excited about it. I cannot wait to run it. And this will really, really delve deep into each of the colors on the color wheel, figuring out how it can help and support you physically and emotionally, how you can use color theory to enhance your life, how you can use it to understand you better, and also how you can use it personally and in business as well, if you have your own business. So I give to you the color theory and use color theory and chromotherapy to say F yes to be coming to you masterclass, and that will be running on Wednesday the 2nd of June at 8:30 p.m, which is UK time, and that will only be £17 for that masterclass. So it will be interactive one, so it'll be on Zoom, so I'll get to see you and you'll get to see me, but I don't judge. You can do it in your pajamas if you want to. I never judge. Pat's already booked her spot, and if you want to book yours, obviously don't delay. So this is the first one that I'm running as well. So let me just put out there that it is £17, but it will be going up the next time that I run it. So if you do want to get in the first time that it's run at that cheaper price, then absolutely go for it. So if you want to find out how you can use color to discover more about yourself, how you can use color to make you feel better physically, emotionally, and also to kind of delve deeper into your soul colors and how that works for you on a spiritual level, then you want to be getting in on this masterclass. So it's Wednesday the 2nd of June. So you've got a couple of weeks 2 weeks, 2 weeks tomorrow it is. So you've got time. Obviously, you'll be able to book that. So if you're hanging out for payday, that's absolutely fine. But I will be closing signups for it on the 1st of June. So if you do want in on it, then make sure you go for that. But I'm really, really excited to be doing that one. And also with the color chart, that will give more understanding to what it's all about. So there we have it. That is that. I think for me, that's all the waffle that I had to waffle about. So shall we do some more readings? Shall I bring the ticker up? Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so if you're there, if you didn't get a reading at the beginning, then do feel free to ask. Obviously, I won't get around to everyone tonight, but I'm here every Tuesday evening. So if I don't get around to you this time, then hopefully I will get to you next time. So let's have a go. Frankie would love some uncensored guidance. Let's dish it up. Let's have a go. Let's dish it up. Okie dokie. Right, let's see what we've got for you, my lovely. Okie doke. Ooh. Right, okay, so Frankie, for you, you've got the Six of Pentacles in reverse. You've also got the Magician in reverse, and then you have got the Lovers. So looking at this one, I'm very drawn to whether it's a current relationship or a past relationship, but for some reason June is a very prominent month for this. So looking into next month, I'm feeling like for you, whether it's current relation, let me know in the comments actually, are you in a relationship or not? Because then I can get straight to the point for you on this one. Because what I'm seeing here for you is that your love life holds a lot of influence over the way that you act right now, over the way that you experience things, over the way that you feel things. And I feel like a past relationship, right? Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Because for this one, I feel like for you, next month, June, is where you're going to really come into your own. Because looking at this, it seems like a relationship that you've had before has really held you back, or made you feel like you couldn't do certain things, or made you feel like you were less than what you were. And these are my favorite types of readings, because I get to like really give you that oomph to be you. What I want to say here for you is, if there is either within a job or if there's a business idea, I feel like for you financially, you've maybe held back before. If something's come up for you in September last year and you've been put off it, or it's not worked out quite right, I'm seeing this opportunity coming round again for you, this financial opportunity, in about the next month to 6 weeks, I would say. And what I want to say to you is, any decisions that you make coming up, do not let past influences, past relationships, any worries, any self-doubt, any self-esteem or confidence, don't let that hold you back, because that was how you felt before and this is now. So you need to step the fuck up, girl. Okay, step up and step into being you and own it, because this is basically opening the door for you to be who you want to be, without giving two shits about what so-and-so said before, or what they were going to think about you, or worrying about how they would react to you doing something. This is your time to claim back you. So I'm really seeing here involving either work or your skill set, you going into something that you maybe didn't feel confident in doing before, or you were told that you couldn't or shouldn't do it. So this is confirmation to say, fuck yes, girl, do it, and do it now. Okay, don't sit on your ass thinking about it for too long and thinking, oh no, what if it doesn't work, or what if it doesn't work out, or what if I'm not good enough? This says that yes, you are. Okay, so just do it, bite the bullet and go for it. And if that doesn't make sense to you right now, then give it a couple of weeks and that should make perfect sense. Okie doke. Oh my god, oh wow, there we go. Claire pulled the same cards earlier and said exactly the same. Whoa, there we go. Amazing. Fantastic. Well, there you go. If that's not confirmation, then I don't know what is. There we go. Okay, right, let's have a look and see. I'll be on for a little while. So normally on an evening, I do hang about quite late. I'm a bit of a night owl, so I will be on for a little while longer. If you want to stay here, you're more than welcome. If it's too late for you, if you've got work in the morning, or if you're a bit tired, then I will not hold it against you if you need to nip off. But those of you that stay to the end, you're my power girls. So let's have a look. Chantel, right, I don't think I've read for you before, have I? So let's have a go. Frankie, I know. There you go. That's confirmation for you. Okay, Chantel, let's dish out some some uncensored guidance for you as well. Let's have a look. Let's see. Right, we've got. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Oh, magician's come out again. Okay, Chantel, for you, you have got no. Oh, hang on. I thought you asked for. Oh, right. No, not read for me. All right, I got you now. I thought you were saying, no, don't read for me. But no, I've not read for you before. Got it. Okay. So yours, you have got the Knight of Cups. You've also got the Ace of Wands in reverse. And then you have got the Magician. Okay, so looking at these ones, I feel like for you, there's a sense of going back to something. So if there's any skills, any job, anything that you've been mulling over that you used to do, or you perhaps thought about doing before, then what I would say to you is to really, if it's arising in you again, don't think in your head, oh, I can't go back to that. I've done that already. If it's coming up for a reason. Okay, so don't feel repelled against going back to something. This almost goes against a lot of advice that I would give, but I feel like for you, going back is a way of going forwards. And actually, rather than seeking out new things or fresh beginnings, I feel like doing what you know or going back to what you know is more beneficial. Let me just say, I do not see this from a relationship point of view. So this isn't going back to a relationship, but it could be going back to a place, back to a certain home, back to a job, back to a skill set. But I'm seeing you, like I say, going back in order to move forwards. With this one, time frame wise, I feel like I want to say to you, right, I've got a one over the next month. So I'd say between now and the beginning of July, I would put it, so just over a month, is that an opportunity will come up for you to use the skill set that you've already got. So if you're sat there thinking, oh, I need to study for this, or I need to train in that, or you need to use the skill set that you've already got, because then I feel like you're going to get a sense of accomplishment, that the skills that you've got are already, that they're going to be appreciated, they'll be used. And it doesn't mean that someone's saying to you, right, you need to change yourself in order to do this. Because what I get from these cards here is that you're a bit stubborn. I feel like looking at the Knight of Cups card there, that tells me your throat chakra feels quite open. And I don't feel like you're shy in saying how you feel and getting your point across. But to look at this one, I do feel like for you that you're quite happy in putting your point across. However, it's trusting in yourself is the part there that you need to really believe in. So here, going back to go forwards. Hopefully that makes sense and you can take that one. So there we go. That is for you. Just reading there, Jules. Lee Petchalangro said you based your magician drawing on him. Yes. So obviously, if you don't know, I'm the artist that did the designs for the Claire Petchalangro Romany Gypsy tarot cards, and she obviously wanted a whole host of cards featuring her family. So within that deck, Lee Petchalangro was the magician in there. And then you've also got, from the magician moving up, you've got the High Priestess was Claire's granny. Then you had the, where am I moving up to? The Empress was her mum, the Emperor was her dad, and it moves through the whole family. So there's lots of faces in there, and you can buy the cards over on Claire's website. I've got my pack here. So I did the design for the box and I did all the artwork for the cards. So that is Claire Petchalangro's Romany Gypsy Tarot cards. Frankie, received cards, they're incredible. Amazing. I'm so glad you think so. So this is the cards that's there. So every single card I did the artwork on there. Obviously it was a collaboration with Claire with what she wanted on the cards, but I did all of the artwork on there. And actually, if you've got it, there we go, that tree, that twisted tree, took me absolutely ages to do that design, but I loved it. And yeah, as Pat says, so I am on the cards. I don't know where I am in here, but I am the Knight of Wands. There I am. Knight of Wands with my bright orange hair riding a stag. There we go. So my hair's looking not very orange today. It's looking kind of a blondie brownie kind of colour. But if you knew me post-COVID, you'll know that I quite often, well, quite often always sport neon orange hair. And I'm very, very pleased to report that tomorrow is the day. I'm booked into the hairdressers and I'm going to have my orange hair back. I'm going to have iron brew hair, the traffic cone hair. I will be like this orange color here. I will feel like myself and I cannot wait for it. I'm ready. So let's go back to doing some cards and let's have a look. Frankie bought those instantly. Amazing. I'm so pleased that people really love the cards and the artwork. It was really, really amazing to put the cards together and do the designs with Claire. It's really, really exciting. Right, Lydia, let's go for you, my lovely. Let's pull some cards and see what they've got for you. Okay. Oh, you've only received them a few days ago. Yeah, definitely go through. There was lots and lots of hidden bits in there, so it will probably take a while. Obviously, because I did the artwork, I know all the little nooks and crannies and bits that are in there. But there is lots of what Claire likes to call Easter eggs hidden in there and lots of little gems of information. So what I would say to you is to see what you feel from the cards and go to the details that you're drawn to. So if you're drawn to specific details, that has a meaning within the card, and that will just see what it feels to you. Obviously, you can do the course, you can train to use the cards, but with me personally, I work intuitively based on the details that I'm drawn to and the feelings that I get myself, and that would be my way of working. Okay, so Lydia, for you, lovely, what I've got is you've got the Ace of Swords in reverse, you've got the Page of Cups, and then you've got the Seven of Cups in reverse there as well. So what I'm seeing here for you is I feel like there should be a transition for you, but for some reason it's either being delayed or held back. So perhaps something that you're expecting to happen or been waiting on has been pushed back, or it's been delayed for some reason. However, even though this is maybe frustrating, I am seeing that in the long line of things, this is more for your benefit. It's kind of a silver lining, I suppose, if you will. And what I'm seeing here is it's more time for you to, it's basically saying to you, you need to put yourself out there more. You need to, like with this one, looking at the Page of Cups, I feel like you need to bring in a more social element. And for some reason, I feel like there's I don't know, I'm drawn to women, but I feel like that's a struggle, as if I want to say to you to get a good group of female friends, but I feel like I recoil from that. So what I want to say to you here is, I'm closing my eyes because I'm like tapping in as well. I feel like you need to almost find the right friends that you can trust, and that will restore your confidence in friendships and relationships with women. I don't see that men are a factor as such, but I feel like you need to restore that social aspect to really kind of bring in for you as well your confidence, but also that communication for you. Oh, hang on, Jules, I will do them. So I think that for you beneficial will bring about confidence, and also with the throat chakra there, help you with that social aspect. The only thing I would say to you is you need to have clear boundaries. You need to really make sure that you are putting out there letting people know what you will and won't tolerate, but also to yourself, making boundaries for you, sort of knowing what you won't let happen, what you won't do for other people, keep going over and over, what your boundaries are for yourself, so then you can keep track. Because with the Seven of Cups card there, I'm seeing for you round about July time, I feel like July is going to be the time where things shift for you and things, you kind of get what you've been waiting on there. But I do feel that bringing in this social aspect will open up more opportunities for you, because then you'll get to know people who have got different contacts and different skills, and it will be really, really beneficial. So hopefully you can take that. That gives you a bit of insight, and that is helpful for you. Frankie, what cards am I using tonight? No, so these are, so obviously I sell cards in my shop as well, my online shop. So these ones are the Silver Witchcraft Tarot. I do have a deck of these in the shop. I only have one in stock, and these are my trusty cards. I've been using these ones for about 18 months, I think I've been using these, whereas my other ones, my trusty little steeds, are these diddy little cards in here. I don't sell these in my shop. These are the first deck of cards I ever got, and they're tiny. These are Giovanni Caselli ones, and they're just so diddy, but you can see how how well loved and well used they've been. So those are my trusty little steeds, but the ones I'm using right now are the Silver Witchcraft Tarot. But I read tarot, I read oracle, I work intuitively, and I can also feel in senses and whatnot. I am a medium, but I don't practice mediumship. I don't do spirit readings because that's just a long story. But obviously, as I was chatting with Louise there, and I did the reading for her with her mum, that's not something I offer anymore. But obviously in the shop, if you are an avid collector of cards and you like to have cards, then you can check it out. I've got quite a few of the Colette Baron Reed Oracle decks. I've got the Crystal Spirit, the Goddess Power, and also the Oracle of the Seven Energies. I've got the Kyle Gray Angels and Ancestors. I've got the Lightseers Tarot. I've got both Rebecca Campbell decks. I'm a big advocate, big lover of Rebecca Campbell and her work. So you can check out the shop and see what's on there if you're into your cards. But I do have only one of these on there. So if you do want a deck of them, think fast. But yes, eventually I will be doing my own card decks. I've got plans for different ones. I want to do probably not a tarot deck, to be honest. I'm more towards oracle decks. And one of them I'm going to do is like my style, like the uncensored guidance, the real and raw, rather than an airy fairy oracle deck. So Jules, let's do yours. So let's have a look. I'm really pleased that a few of you stayed on so late with me as well. It's really nice. As I mentioned, I do stay on for a little while. I do like to stay late because my other half works quite late, so it's nice to have the company. Okay, so Jules, for you, my lovely, you've got the Tower in reverse. You've got the Ten of Wands also in reverse, and also in reverse again, you've got Temperance. So what this is saying to me, I feel like for you that perhaps decisions are kind of out of your hands at the minute, and maybe something that you've been trying to keep going to hold on to, in actual fact, has not continued to go on as you would like it to. I don't know if this is perhaps something to do with your home or maybe a relationship or a job, but it seems like something is, if it hasn't already, is coming to an end. And I feel like rather than hanging on and trying to feed it when you know it's going out, what I would say here with looking at this Temperance one, I feel like it's a choice between, are you gonna nurture what is to come, or are you just going to feed and hold on to what's been and just kind of pine for it? So I think this one is giving to you more like, I suppose, a bit of a reality check, a bit of a kick up the arse to say that there are some things in life that we can't control, and there's no use kind of pining over it and worrying. You need to look at what you can do moving forward. And this here, it's not giving me the answers for you to move forward, because I feel like it's up to you. You're the one that needs to make that decision, and you need to think to yourself, right, what am I not willing to put up with anymore? What am I going to cut out of my life to facilitate me to be able to live my best life? Because I'm feeling for you, the solar plexus energy is coming in, and solar plexus is all about self-worth and confidence. But also with the solar plexus, there's that element of trusting your gut instinct. And I feel like for you, I want to say, trust your gut instinct here and do what you feel drawn to do in the first instance, not when you kind of had a good think about it and you think, oh, that would be more reasonable, and not when you think like, oh, this is what so-and-so wants me to do. I'm talking about the thing when you first ask yourself, what is the first answer that comes to you? What jumps out at you? That is what you should be doing, okay? So this is saying, don't waste your time on things that you know are not worthy of your time or are just kind of draining your energy and not going anywhere. This is telling you to kind of, it's time to move forward now and to have the confidence to be that big girl, to put that first foot forward and just go with it. Just trust that it will work out how it is meant to. So hopefully that is either reassurance or a kick up the arse, one or the other. But there we go. Hopefully you can take that and it makes some sort of sense for you. Let's have a look. There we go. Just reading through. Right, Lydia. Oh, bless you. No, you do what's right for you now. Don't let anything from the past kind of hold you back. You're your own woman now, and you're safe now. Okay, you can be you without any guilt, without any doubt, without any worry. You can be you. Pat says it wouldn't be a Tuesday if Laura wasn't live. It wouldn't, would it? It would feel weird if I wasn't live on a Tuesday. Even if I'm poorly, I come live on a Tuesday just to pop in and say hello. Okay, so let's go Vicky. There we go. Let's pick out Vicky. So, hey. Okay. Let's have a look. I'll be on for a little while, so I will get to as many of you as I can. Obviously, if I don't get to all of you this evening, I will be back next week. And then also, as I mentioned, from Tuesday next week at 10 a.m, you can catch me on Derek ACOA's page. So all exciting stuff. It's good stuff. I'll need to behave myself because 1 is a daytime slot. Two, I'm the new girl, so I'll have to curb the sass and swearing. I don't think I'll be able to want to swear on a 10 a.m. slot. I'll save the swearing for the evening. So if you're joining me here next Tuesday, brace yourself. So Vicky, for you, you've got the Page of Pentacles, you've got the 5 of Pentacles also in reverse, and you've got the 10 of Wands there in reverse. So looking at this for you, I'm bringing up a lot of heart chakra stuff and a lot of stuff around finances. I feel like for you, it's like you're sitting on this mound of gold and there's all of this opportunity to really make money from doing what you love. But I want to say to you, it's just like leap and do it. Because here with your 10 of Wands, if it was that way, it would be like trying to keep a fire going in a snowstorm. But actually that way, it's like more like saying, why are you not trying to keep it going? Why are you not investing your time and whatnot in it? So this is for you to kind of say that go for it. And I feel like here, looking at this one, I feel like there's a connection. I don't know if it's a parent or a family member or a friend, but I feel like there's a financial connection with you and an older female. So if you are stuck in a bit of a financial hurdle in moving forward with your plans, do not be shy or stubborn in putting feelers out and asking for some help and support, because I feel like maybe that could be a bit of a stumbling block in your plan of what you need to do. What I'm seeing here is basically you're just sat on a mound of gold ready to be like opened up. So go for it and trust in yourself, trust in your skill, and trust in what you can do, because I feel like you know that you can do it. And in your mind, you've got everything that you need, but in your mind it's almost like you're second guessing and there is that doubt there. Yes, fear going forward. So this is saying, like, fuck that fear, let fear out. Fear can walk. Get fear out the door, because this is saying to you it will work. It's just a case of you stepping forward. Like any stumbling blocks that come up, you can overcome them, and it's just part of the process. Anything that takes a unexpected turn just means that it wasn't meant to be that exact part in your journey. It will take you into something bigger and better. So let go of that fear and just move forward and trust and leap. So that is for you this evening. Yes, Jules, be more lion and less mouse. I love that. I do. I really, really love that one. Less lion, more mouse. No, more lion, less mouse. That's it. There you go. Frankie. Oh, my kind of girl. My kind of girl. Do you know, I was talking to my other half, Mark. What were we talking about? Oh, it was when, so both our nieces are vegetarian, and he was going on to them about a steak. And what was he come out with? Less mooing, more chewing. So if you've got any sayings like that, so anything, any quirky little sayings that you often say, drop them in the comments and give us a smile. Let us know what it is that you often say. But I thought that was a good one, like on his toes, less mooing, more chewing. There we go, Lydia, trying to get more confident. Yeah, it takes time. It really, really does. And that's why I'm here, to help women with their confidence, to step into who they are. Because I think a lot of the time, it's all very well saying, oh, be confident. But actually, if you don't know who you are, how can you be confident in being who you are? It's quite cryptic, I suppose. But there we go. Grace got to go. Oh, bless you. Thank you so much for staying on, and I will hopefully see you next week. It is 11 o'clock, isn't it? So I'm probably going to be on not much longer, but this is getting to the point where I'm not doing readings anymore, and this is just my chit chat. This is how we wind down at the end of a Tuesday night live. and it's either ends with a rant or some sort of advice, or this is Sam's favorite bit. Sam likes the end bit. Normally she goes for the rant. To be honest, I don't have a lot to rant about. It's been a fairly good week. Haven't got much ranting on. There we go. Pat says Laura's helped me with the confidence over the last year. And the thing is, like, you may be watching this thinking I look really confident, but I wasn't always like this. So I struggled. You'll read this on the website if you look into my story. I struggled a lot with social anxiety over the years, and it's something that I'm not shy to talk about. I really struggled. I didn't really know who I was because I was in a process of, I grew up in a military family, so I was constantly moving around. I constantly had to blend in to make new friends, and I didn't really have much about me. I was just that kind of person that could be friends with anyone because I was just like, I could just blend in. And then that kind of, for me, spiraled into, with the kind of addition of childhood trauma as well, that spiraled into me like having social anxiety as a teen, and as well in my early to mid 20s. It's only really the past sort of 3-4 years I've come out of my shell, because I really struggled with kind of worrying what people thought about me, or people would look at me, or worrying, did I look silly? I've also had trouble with body dysmorphia as well, and not just from the weight side of things, but from appearance as well. I would worry, why are they looking at me? Are they saying something about me? And I would be scared to go out the house. At one point, I didn't leave the house for 3 months on my own because I was afraid to go out alone, because I was that anxious about how people would react, how people would treat me. So I had that trouble, and then that kind of really manifested into me not really knowing who I was, because I was just trying to please everybody. I was just dressing how everyone else around me was dressing, or how I thought people wanted me to dress. And my spiritual side for quite a while I kept under wraps, because fucking hell, God forbid we don't talk about that. And it took time. It really did, to kind of step into my own and to learn, not just learn to be me, but to find out who I was, because that's an important part. And actually, so this month I did run a masterclass called Go F Yourself. The F stands for fine, but it also looks like it says go fuck yourself. But basically, that's what it's all about. It's about finding you and having the confidence to feel like you can tell someone to go fuck themselves if they don't like you the way you are. Because that's what it's all about. It's about becoming you, discovering who you are, and actually creating that path to move forward, because we deserve it. Each and every one of you deserves to be in a space where you can be you. You don't have to be who your partner wants you to be. You don't have to be who your parents want you to be. You don't have to be who your job wants you to be. You can just be you. And actually, the more you be you, and I say this all the time, like, the more you be yourself, that's when you welcome in your people. That's when you find your tribe of people that are meant to be there, that will support you in any ventures that you take, that will support you in learning things, that will support you in growing as a person, but will also support you in the real shitty times, when, you know, those friends that are only there for the good times. Like, we don't want them. They can piss off. We want the ones that will be there through the thick and the thin, because they are your people. But by being someone that you're not, by putting on a persona, and it's not to say that you're being two-faced or you're being fake. It's not like that. It's about being afraid to be who you truly are, because you're afraid of being judged. But when you let that veil come down, when you let that mask slip, when you can be truly you, that's when you thrive, because that's when you get to be you. And I can say that not because I've read shit from a book, and because I've done a course in this, that, and whatever the fuck else. I can say it because I've lived through it. I've been in this shit. I've been through some serious crap, and some of it I'll openly talk about. Some of it I'm not ready to put out there yet, but I'm at a point where I'm happy in being me, and I can embrace me as I am. Some days I look down and I think I don't like myself, and other days I think, fuck it, like, I'm happy. Does it really matter if I've got a loose bit of skin there? Does it really matter if I've got a stretch mark on my arse? Does it really matter if I've got a spot on my cheek? Because at the end of the day, the people that love you, like those that are your tribe, they will be there. So the people that are meant to be there, either your best friends or your partner or your family members that love you unconditionally, They don't give two fucks if you've got a spot on your face. They don't care if you haven't brushed your hair. They don't care if you've got a stretch mark on your ass. They don't care. What they care about is you being happy and you being you. So it's, there we go. Pat doesn't care what other people are thinking about. Exactly. And it's not about being like pompous or up yourself. Like, oh, I don't care what you think. It's not like that. It's about knowing when to care and when not to care. And giving into you and letting you just kind of be yourself, exploring who you are, because a lot of the fun is actually learning who you are, what you like, what do you enjoy doing. Because a lot of the time we get to a point where we've lost interest in things. We just become a label. We become like a mum, we become a wife, we become maybe a carer, we become whatever our job role is. We just get so stuck in the cycle of this and that and whatever else that we forget what we do. Are you the baker? Are you an artist? Do you enjoy reading? Like the sports? What is it that makes you you? And it's not about putting you into a box. Really, really not about putting you into the box, because the last thing you want to do is put yourself into a box or a category or a label. It is not about that, because at the end of the day, why do you want to put yourself in a box? You are already your own category. You're you, and nobody else can be more you than you can. And again, we come up with that comparison about, oh, they've got this, or they can do that and I can't do that, and oh, but I've got this and they haven't got that, and all of that. But actually, like, we are unique, and someone might have something but they don't have what you've got, and vice versa. But also as well, like, you don't know what they've been through to get to that point, and equally they don't know what you've been through. So we get to the point where you think, actually, fuck it, I don't give a shit what anyone else thinks. I'm going to be me. And the fun part is when you get to a certain age when none of that crap matters, none of that material stuff about having the nicest house or having the best clothes and whatnot, it loses meaning. Like, yeah, I've got a nice car, I've got nice clothes, I've got a nice house, but it doesn't matter. No. And I'm not saying that from a point of, oh, you can say I've got all of this and it doesn't matter. It's not, because I've been at the point where I've had fuck all, and me and my other half have worked to have what we've got, and we've worked like tooth and nail to get it, and it's not like it was given to us on a plate. So I can say that I've got to that rock bottom point and I've built myself up. So actually I deserve to own it, and I deserve to be confident about who I am, and so do you. Like, absolutely, so do you. Just going to read your comments there. Lots of comments coming in. It's amazing. There we go. Outer layers are just the clothing of a person. It's the soul and spirit within and their heart. Absolutely. 100% agree. Less judging, more love. Yeah, definitely. Leslie says self-love. Kelly, self-love and self-care. Be your own best friend is very important. 100%. Pat, you are very, very welcome always. Michelle is a creative mother of two beautiful girls. Exactly. So this is coming into who you are, and it kind of comes down to what makes you tick. Like, what do you enjoy doing? What do you not enjoy doing? Like, this is something that I would say in my Go F Yourself masterclass. If money was not an option, if you were not going to be judged, if there was no thing about time, if you had no responsibilities, what would you do and what would you not do? And that gives you an insight into the real you. If nothing else mattered, if there was no doubt, worry, money, responsibility, nothing like that, what would you definitely do and what would you no longer do? And that says a lot. That will give you a lot of insight. There we go. Life's a journey, not a competition. Absolutely. Frankie says, who says wobbly skin, stretch everyone else and spot her face isn't sexy? There we go. And that's what makes us different. And you'll have noticed actually on Insta, and oh, Frankie, your comment come up at 11:11 p.m. there as well. And Kelly, yours was 11:11. Don't be afraid to step out of the box and not to fit into a box. Absolutely. And Vicky, yours was 11:11. Notice recently the people who I thought was my people only appear when they know I'm in the bad place. And then when things are going really well, I don't hear from them. People at least expect to support me in my journey. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's some people thrive off negative energy, or some people thrive off of bad things, and those people are assholes. I'm not going to beat around the bush. They are. And it's kind of like, yeah, sometimes you have those that only come in during the good times and they piss off during the bad times. But then equally, those that come in during the bad times, it weighs up. And to be honest, from the other side of things, some people are assholes, yes. But then at other times, there are people that, yes, maybe you're the absent friend, that, which I have been recently, and I'll admit it. I'll hold my hands up that I want to be there for people more, but I've got so much of my own shit going on. And it's not to say that I disregard anyone else's problems or disregard any messages or anything. It's kind of like sometimes we do get wrapped up in our own lives and we have our own responsibilities. And the people that judge you and poke at you and be all awful about it, they're the ones that you don't want around. The ones that will say, like, I understand. Those are the ones that you want, because we're all in the same boat of having shit to do. We're all in the same boat of being busy. And just because you haven't messaged someone back within a few hours, it doesn't mean that you're a bad friend. Like, it's not what it's about. Like, being a friend is like being there emotionally for someone. Like, yeah, I might miss a message for a few hours or maybe a day. But I know for a fact if someone needed me, like really deeply needed me, I could be there for them. So it's kind of, there's different ends of the spectrum, because sometimes people are not there for you because they're just an asshole and they're selfish. And other times people are not there for you, but like they are. But it's interesting that, like Vicky, you said that people have only been around during the bad times, which is really, really, really interesting. Carmen, yeah, worrying what people think is exhausting and wasted energy. Absolutely. Yeah. There you go, Vicky, just reading that one. Yes. And again, I think that comes in with being an empath as well. Like, you do soak up a lot of that energy, but also with being an empath is you're more prone to kind of thinking, what are they thinking? What are they doing? And I suppose that level of overthinking comes in when you're an empath, because you kind of question everything and you think, is it me? Is it them? Am I picking up on them? Or is that me picking up on me? And it's like, but yeah, we are sensitive beings. We all are. Kelly, swings and roundabouts. Yeah, there you go. That's something I like to say, swings and roundabouts. Frankie, through bad times, those people don't serve you, find their own way out the door. You just have to keep it shut behind them. I like it. Yes, absolutely. I love that one. So we're kind of drawing to the end. I've kind of done a little bit of a rant. Michelle, my best friend and I've been mates for 32 years. Amazing. And I've got, so my longest best friend, Beth, we've been friends since 2007. We met at college and we've been best buds ever since. And we're like the kind of friends that, because she doesn't live near here, I'm in Wiltshire and she's in Durham, so we don't speak all the time. We communicate through memes. We'll like tag each other and shit on Instagram and Facebook, and that's like, it's great. And then like after weeks, even a couple of months, we'll just have a FaceTime and it'll be like 3 hours long and we'll just chat forever, and it's amazing. And then normally we visit each other once a year and whatnot. So yeah, it's good. Frankie, how old are you? Oh, how old do you think I am? I'm intrigued. Oh dear me, I don't want to put no, seriously, yeah, let me know, how old do you think I am? Let's see if my face cream's working. I don't know if it's surprising or not how old I actually am. So much wisdom. Well, that comes from, a lot of people will tell you that I'm quite an old soul, and I do a lot of work with past lives. I'm actually training in becoming a past life hypnotherapist and regression healing as well. So that's to come. I do past life meditations, so that's kind of a door in, but because I'm not a qualified hypnotherapist yet, so I can't offer it. But I do a lot of stuff with past lives, and I have lived many past lives. A lot of them I've not even discovered yet. Yes, yay. Yeah, no, so I'm 30. I was 30 last August, so I'm coming up to 31 this year. So that is me. I don't know if I can see, I'm starting to get wrinkles. I've got like bad skin when I'm like, you see some wrinkles in there, and a spot that's appeared while I've been live. Yes, absolutely. So as I was saying, like the past life stuff, I could talk about that for ages. It's something that I'm really interested in and I've been looking into for a while. So I actually do a past life meditation. So if you are new to this evening, so obviously I do readings, I do healing, and I also run meditation classes, which actually I need to mention. So Thursday night is the next Balm for the Soul session. Let me tell you before I forget. So Balm for the Soul is I'll come back to your question, Frankie. Let me show you on here. I'll do a screen share. So if you've not done a Balm for the Soul before, I know a few of you here have done them, so feel free to share your thoughts. So with Balm for the Soul is you can go onto the website, book a group session. So what's included is so it's like a 90-minute, like an hour and a half, and each person is limited to 10 spaces. Each person gets an individual 3-card tarot reading and a 1-card oracle reading. Then we'll move through a themed guided meditation. So the theme for this month is, because Balm for the Souls once a month, is a body scan. So it'll be a head to toe body scan, releasing any physical or emotional tension, anything that you're holding in the body, to just help you feel light, rested, and have that sense of relief and like a recharge as well. So that will lead you through the guided meditation. Then that will give you independent time to meditate. If you're not used to meditating, honestly, it's not difficult. I will guide you through and you'll get to where you need to be. So then you'd have independent time to meditate, which will just flow straight in from the other one. You don't need to worry about doing anything. And while you're doing the meditation, what I do is I'll do a distance energy cleanse, protection, and release with some channeled healing for each of you. And then I'll bring in each of my 6 spirit guides that I work with, and you'll get their channeled energy as well. And then obviously at the end, we do a bit of journaling. You can write down any notes from what you felt, seen, anything at all during your meditation. And then there's space to share as well. So that is there. If you do want to book onto that, it is only £17 for the session. Obviously, it's got all the healing, the meditation, and the reading involved as well. And there's 10 spaces per session, but there's a few of them booked up, so there's not many left. And that is this Thursday at 8:30 p.m. So there you have it. Pat's booked in. It's one of her favorite meditations. Amazing. There you go, Jules, 32, nearly 31. So I'm glad actually I've got some new faces on here. So it's really, really exciting. So Frankie asked, when are you next going live? So I'm live here on my page every Tuesday night without fail at 8:45 p.m. And obviously tonight I had a special guest on. I had Louise. Next week it will be just me. But every so often I will have guests on to talk about either different causes, different topics, or you'll just have me chatting on for the duration. So I've been on now for over 2.5 hours. I just like to chat. I like to be here with you. And it's not about me doing self-promotion to get bookings. That's not what I do. I'm here for you, to help you feel better about whatever you're going through, to give you a bit of guidance, and to just have a good old chit chat, because it's what I like. That's what I like doing. So yes, if you do want to book onto Balm for the Soul, then do absolutely get your space booked in before it's too late. So they do run monthly. Frankie, you like to chat too much. No, I like to chat too much. It's fine. Yeah, so they're monthly. So next month, I don't think I've released what the next month's one is, but it will be exciting. I think I've maybe told the ladies in my soul circle. So if you're new here tonight and you've heard me talking about my soul circle, you're thinking, what the hell is that? So the soul circle is my subscription membership, and there's lots of good stuff in it, but it is closed at the minute. However, if you do want to have first dibs on becoming a member when I do open it, then you can join my wait list. So what I'm actually going to be doing is, rather than just opening to members, I'm going to be running a free 5-day challenge at the end of June, which will then open up to opening my soul circle for new members. There will be an application process, because it is a safe space for the ladies that are in there, and we're a wonderful group of women. They're my amazing tribe of wonderful women. So you can find out more about the soul circle on the website, and then you can join the wait list, so you'll get first dibs info for when that comes up. But also you can join my email list, which what happens then is, well, you can join the email list in general, or, oh, that's the dog. I think that's maybe Mark coming in. Oh, goodness me. Oh, he scared me. We've got a big dog. The membership, there's different tiers to it. It will open up in July, but let me get you the link. Where is it? Let's have a look. Okay, so if you go on to guidance and readings on the website, and you can find out about the soul circle there. So if you click to join, it will give you a link there to there you go. There we go. So that's the link there. If you want to find out more about it, you can join on. You can see what it says. So it's got prices on. There's different tiers as well, because you can have the standard membership, and then there's also like add-ons for what you can have. So yeah, you can check it out, and then obviously you'll get first dibs access for when I do put it out there. So yeah, just have a look, check out the website, see what's on there. Obviously give me a follow on the page, and then you'll get notifications on when I'm next live. And also a lot of the posts that I put up, I like to do quite lengthy storytelling posts, so they're always a big hit. And I like to swear and say lots of fun stuff, or do stuff that's relatable, that's kind of pouring my heart out. It goes one of two ways. So yeah, that is there. I'm going to love you and leave you because it is nearly 11:30. So thank you all so much for staying on so late with me. You've been on with me for 2 hours and 40 minutes, which is amazing. So thank you so much. If anyone's got any questions at all, please do pop me a comment on the page or pop me a message. So I will be live next week at 10 a.m. on Tuesday on Derek ACOA's page, and that will be strictly doing readings. And then I'll be live here on this page next Tuesday evening doing my usual rant. I'll be showing off some bits in the shop and also doing readings as well. So don't forget as well, I've got all this stuff on the shop. I'm literally about to head off to make the new stuff live. So I've got the new coconut soap and the new watermelon soap. I've got the new Himalayan salts, and also I didn't mention it on there, but I've got powder face masks as well with tonic waters. I've got a rose water and a lavender water that you can mix with it, or you can use normal, but I'll let you check that out for yourselves. So lots and lots of love to you all. Thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure. And also thank you to Louise for joining as my special guest this evening. Hope you all enjoyed it. So lots and lots of love, and I will catch you all next week.